Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's class on how to cut back to part-time hours at your full-time job without getting in trouble. I'm Dr. Christina Arnold, and I'm so delighted you're here. I see hearts already. Hi, hi, hi. So looks like you can see me, and hopefully you can hear me too. If you can't, let me know. Yes, lots of hearts. So yes, great. Today, you're going to get everything you need to cut back to part-time hours at your full-time job, no matter where you are in the world. It's 4 simple steps. I've never taught it before, so this is brand new. You've never heard it before. And how do I know it works? It's a process I used to cut back to part-time hours at my full-time doctor job. I've since taught many, many, many physician moms, all sorts of specialties, all sorts of practices all over the world. It works for me, it works for you, or it works for them, and it'll also work for you. Let me make sure I'm recording. Pause recording. I'm recording. Perfect. All right, so here is what we're going to do today. You're going to get everything you need to know to cut back to part-time hours. My suggestion is by the way, this is essentially a master expert level class. My suggestion is to take one tiny step, the smallest step you see that feels like it's going to give you results today, and put that in place today. You'll get home sooner today. You'll enjoy your job more today. That's how fast it works. The class itself is going to be under an hour. I'm going to stay on as long as there are questions. We'll do the questions at the very end of the class. So if you decide you want to get some help, you have some questions on what I presented, what I didn't present, you have some questions on your particular job, marriage, kids, hold them for the end, and at the end you and I can chat anonymously through the Q&A box and get it all sorted. You'll leave with all of your questions answered. Today we're also going to open the door to Next Level Freedom. It is my signature lifetime group. It opened twice this year. It's the last chance to come in, and you're going to hear about a special 48-hour triple bonus for the first 10 people who will enroll. You're going to want to be here to the end so you can hear it and join right away. So you're in the right room if you're a physician mom who doesn't want to compromise being the mom you want to be for your job. And for some of you, you once loved this job and you want to love it again. And the only thing you need to love it again are these 4 simple strategies you're going to hear today. Because what it'll do is it'll stabilize the job and will protect every part of it that's important, which includes your schedule, your time, your autonomy, your family. And for others of you, you'd love to leave this job tomorrow if you could, but you have family in town, or you're the breadwinner, or your spouse has a busy practice and you can't move. And I want to let you know this class is especially for you because my philosophy is you never have to leave a job to fix it for good. You just need these 4 strategies and it fixes the job. And others of you, you've already left the job and you're worried it's all going to repeat again in the next zip code. What I want to let you know is once you have these 4 strategies, it doesn't repeat again. It works in the last job, this one, and the next. And you might not even need a next job because this works so well. So here's what you want. You're just like our clients. Of course, you want autonomy over your schedule. You want to see white space on the calendar. You don't want your to-do list or your work emails to wreck your day. You want to get to daycare without rushing all day long. You want to leave at 4 and not feel guilty and super anxious. You work hard at your job, of course you do, and you want your efforts to be recognized and appreciated with a boss who supports you and having deep connection in your marriage. Be the mom you want to be. Not think about work every waking moment, right? You want deep, restful sleep, belonging, safety, of course you do. You're just like a client. We help people build an ethical career. We teach a process where you are an even better doctor by being the mom you want to be through reclaiming your time. You deserve all of it, and that's what you're going to get today. Just like our clients, we help you cut back to part-time hours and keep your full-time doctor salary without getting in trouble. And this works if you're understaffed, if you're a senior leader, if you're up for promotion. It works if you're in academics, you're a solopreneur, community practice, industry, government, locum tenens, all of it. It works if you had coaching before, but it didn't work. It was only because you didn't have these 3 strategies. That's it. Once you have it, you are good to go. But here's what you need to know. You have to cut back to part-time hours right now. This is not something that can wait because here's what happens. The more you overwork, the more it becomes a chronic ingrained habit that's like, this is the norm. You have to cut back right now because there's just too much of life to miss out on. You don't want to do it. Life is way too short. We just moved my daughter into college 1 week ago today. And I'll tell you, I had a lot of intense emotions, as you might imagine: pride and excitement and joy and grief and sadness and worry, like all the emotions you would expect. But what I realized, the one feeling I didn't have regret. Not one moment of regret that I wasn't the mom I wanted to be. And it was such a beautiful feeling to be able to say there's nothing I regretted about how I've been a mom. I want that for you too. When your kids go to college, I want you to feel like you had no regrets. When we get to the end of our lives, I want us to feel like we have no regrets because we did everything we wanted to do for our career and for our family. And that's what you're going to get today. Your brain may offer you some shady little lies. So I want to just kind of clear them up now. Your brain may say it's just going to get better on its own. It never gets better on its own. Like everything else in life, cars, houses, all that stuff, it deteriorates with time unless we intervene and we do something about it. Your brain might offer you the lie, the next boss will be better. And that's definitely not necessarily true. The next boss may be like this boss or worse. You don't want to wait on the boss to change. Your brain might offer you the lie that things will get better when you're promoted or in 10 to 15 years from now. And I wouldn't believe that either. When you get more promoted, you'll have more responsibilities. You'll have more admin duties. You'll do your work plus the admin plus onboarding the new faculty. And just pay attention to how often in the hospital you hear someone talk about their career in terms of like a jail sentence. I got 8 to 10, I'm doing 10 to 15, I got 15 to 20 more, right? We talk about our jobs like it's a jail sentence. And in my program, you'll learn here today is that you are not a criminal. And your job definitely isn't jail. And we work together to make it work so much more beautifully for you. How you're going to enjoy an ethical career where you get to be the doctor and mom you want to be is to create it through these 4 strategies. It's just what I did. So what I teach my clients, and it's what you're going to learn today. So if you're new to me, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I'm Dr. Christina Arnold. I've been a physician for 18 years. This is my before picture. So my career looked like this. I was chief resident, went to Johns Hopkins for a fellowship. I was chief of a major division at a major academic center. I wrote all the books and the talks and all the things. And this was before I invented these 3 strategies. This is the behind the scenes of what my life looked like, which I'll tell you, I felt totally miserable. Because most of the time I was overworking, trying to chase my boss's approval, which by the way, never came, no matter how many hours I worked. And after working a 12-hour day, my husband and I came home, and that's 7 p.m. You know, I'm getting a text for 1 second. Let me see. There is a black box. Okay. Before I tell you the story, what I want to say is the software is amazing, but every once in a while it shoots up a black box that obstructs view. So let me know if you see it and we can clear it out really quickly. Stop share and then reshare. All right, how about that? Is that better? Did the black box go away? I'm going to assume it did. I'm going to keep going unless I hear from someone else that you see a black box. All right, so let's see. I'm getting a few messages, another box. I'm going to stop and try it again. And if not, if this doesn't work, we're just going to go move forward with the black box. All right, I move forward. Hopefully everyone's seen nothing but another black box. All right, so this is 7 p.m. at night, and you're noticing there's no dinner on the table. There's laptops on the table. We're running an after-hours journal club. And where are our kids? They're here. They're like super in the periphery. It was a really painful time because our kids were in the periphery at this time. And the after picture, and I'll tell you, it didn't take long. As soon as I did one of these steps, I started feeling like I liked my job more. I started feeling less pressure at work. A couple of days in, I think 3 days in, my husband's like, "What are you doing? Teach me." And I taught him, and he started liking his job more too. A week later, my son was like, "Mom, you're home so much more. We get to see you so much more. We're having so much more fun." I noticed we were fighting less in the house. I was sleeping better. I was starting to, since I was feeling better, I wasn't eating as much. So I lost some weight. I mean, really, I started having more fun in my life. And 3 weeks later, all my colleagues started noticing. They're thinking, what is going on with you? You seem so much happier. What happened? Right? That's how fast this process will work. And it'll work that fast quickly for you because we've just optimized the process over the years. Like you, I thought a physician job was super safe. And where we get this is our idea of doctors from when we were a kid. We're not wrong to have it, but we have this romanticized view of what a physician life would be from the movies, from TV, from society. And then we go through a lot of six-figure debt or waiting to have babies or own houses or cars and working through the holidays. We get this idea of when we finally arrive that we'll have this deep sense of purpose, passion, and meaning. We'll be recognized. And there's a lot of talk from hospital leadership that we're all on a team, that we're all in a family. And so it can be easy to idealize that this life should be fair, transparent, equitable, and we should all be looking out for each other. The truth is, your job actually isn't safe. You deserve safety, and these 4 strategies create the safety. And I say this not to scare you and make you feel terrible, not at all. It liberated me. And here's how it worked. When I thought my job, when I realized this really isn't a safe job, it let me come up with ways to make the job safe. It liberated me from overworking, chasing my boss's approval. I was like, it's just not coming. So how else do I want to feel great about this job? It opened up so much more possibility. So I say it to liberate you too. And that's what you'll get today. So how do we know it's not safe? Is if you have no idea when your vacation is, if your schedule, office bonus, salary promotion are being threatened. If our job was safe, physician, depression, divorce, suicide rates wouldn't be nearly as high as they are above the general population. And in the pandemic, we actually saw our jobs aren't safe at all. Salaries were slashed, bonuses were taken away, doctor jobs weren't safe. They can actually disappear at any time. The whole concept of team player, I want to spin that for you in a way that might really help you. What I've noticed is the only people who say we need you to be a team player are people in positions of power towards people who have little power to get more sacrifice from them. It's kind of like a manipulative technique. Notice it's never used in the opposite direction. It's never used like we should all be team players. We should all have the same bonus. We should all have the same office. We should all have the same opportunities, right? It's always used in the reverse. And we find so many examples of if we really were on a team during the pandemic when CEOs were collecting millions of dollars of bonuses, they would have forfeited them and said, let's give them back to the doctors who are working so hard. And I say this because here's the thing. If you realize there aren't teams at the hospital, your boss isn't your best friend, your family is not at work, your family is in your home, it will free you up from an entanglement, a very pressured relationship with them. Because instead, what you can do is you can say, these are all humans doing a hard job in the hospital. Everyone is trying to rush home to their families. Everyone's family is actually in their home, not at work. It lets you see the humanity in them and the humanity in you. And when that happens, you'll be freed from this kind of entangled spiderwebby relationship to do better work, to get along with, you'll get along with them better. You'll enjoy your job more and you will be home more importantly. So here's the problem. Most physicians, as medicine teaches us, like how we solve work problems is we throw more of our time at it. We sacrifice more, we work harder, we come in on the weekends. This only makes the job more dangerous. So what you want to be doing is you can solve all work problems forever by working less. That's what you're going to get today. So let's take a look at what this looks like. I call this the overworking cycle. This is fueled by a lack of safety. So when you don't feel safe at work, here's what happens. We'll start in the pink box. You'll work harder and harder, sacrifice more and more, come in more and more, trying to get the boss's approval. It's not coming. So when the boss asks for call coverage, you're going to feel like, I don't have a choice. I have to say yes. And that 24/7 pressure is going to drive you to want to do more, faster and faster while getting to daycare before it closes. All that pressure makes it hard to focus. It takes work so much longer. And when you're distracted, naturally, you'll make more mistakes. In this team player or this team player kind of culture, it's hard to ask for help. You may feel like you have to do it all on your own. At the end of the day, you'll find yourself, I just have to save 5 more minutes. I should just do one more thing. I have to stay later so tomorrow's not a disaster. When you're not safe, you'll feel guilty when you're at work. And when you're home, you'll feel distracted when you're not being able to be present with the family. You're not safe at work, you'll find yourself more reactive with the kids, more fights with the husband, and guilty over that too. When your job's not safe, you'll put the kids to bed and you'll go right back to work email or closing charts with no time to unwind, which sets you up for a terrible night's sleep. And it just creates more and more a lack of safety in your job. This cycle perpetuates itself. We feel unsafe, so we work harder, so we get exhausted, which makes us feel even more unsafe. We work harder, we get exhausted. This cycle perpetuates, and this cycle can be broken with one simple step, as easy as that, by working less. Working less will actually stabilize your job, and here's how. When you have passion, purpose, and meaning, you feel really connected to your family, you feel rested, you'll go to work and you'll get better work done. It's not even the same work. You'll get better work done. You will be a better doctor because of it. You'll have fun at work. You'll find yourself creating more value, being more productive, having more recognition, advancing your career, which just means having more options. We see so many examples of this. I'll have some for you in a moment. When you cut back, you're enjoying your job and you're doing well, you're getting recognized. Guess what you're not doing? Hours a day on the job board looking for another job. You'll save yourself weeks at a time interviewing for jobs that are just like this one. Cutting back will make you a better doctor. And here's why. When you take care of you, you're going to have more energy to take care of others. You'll make so much fewer mistakes when you're rested and not distracted. So you'll be contributing better work, better value, doing your job better. And this will strengthen your relationship with your colleagues, not jeopardize them. You'll see better job performances. We see this all the time. And here is what. When you work less, instead of romanticizing what a physician life should be like, you will romanticize this, the things that are really important, right? It's like spending time with your kid, resting on the weekends, taking a nap on a Sunday afternoon, quiet dinners at home, enjoying takeout, watching movies in the evening. And my favorite part about it is when you work less, when you don't expect the job to provide safety, you create it with these 4 strategies. Here's what happens every single time. You look at that job and you're like, oh, this is the thing that pays off all my debt. This is the thing that makes me a millionaire every couple of years. It provides insurance, makes retirement possible, pays for the big fancy house, the fancy vacations, the cars. It sends kids to their top choice college. You can pay all cash. You realize this job is actually, when you take away expecting it to provide safety, purpose, and passion, you realize, oh, this job is not a bad one. And in our process, we have decision and negotiation processes that help you make it even better. When you're feeling this way about your job, you enjoy it, you have fun, you do better work. So this is what creates safety, is being able to work less. And it creates a safety cycle. And this is what it's when you're feeling safe, it has you doing your best work in a shorter amount of time. This is what it looks like. So we'll start in the pink box again. You have your purpose, your passion, your meaning. All of that happens outside of the workplace. You feel safe at your job. You go to work feeling like I love it when the boss sends me compliments and I don't desperately need it to feel a complete human. It alleviates all the pressure. You're able to do your best work while you're there, and you're also able to leave the job and get home and have time to recover. Your mind will be more rested. It will focus. It will think at a brilliant level. You'll get better work done in a shorter amount of time. When you're more focused and rested, you're going to make fewer mistakes. So you save all that time and stress, not having to clean up mistakes you never make. When you realize that there are no teams at the hospital, there are people just doing their best to get home to their family, you liberate yourself to ask for help. You say yes to projects you love, no to projects you don't, and you're a good doctor regardless. None of the yeses or no have anything to do with if you're a good person or not. You leave work, you feel accomplished. You're proud of yourself. You get to daycare early. Get home to dinner most nights. It allows you to focus at work and then also be present at home. When you're feeling safe, you'll be able to deeply connect with your family, your kids, your spouse. When you're able to stop working nights and weekends, which is what you're going to learn today, you get hours back to unwind. Imagine that, hours each day to unwind, hours each day. Sets you up for amazing sleep. And you'll wake up feeling energized to go to work, maybe even excited because you're having fun there, and then happy to come home. So this cycle perpetuates itself too. When you feel safe, you'll do better work, you'll get home faster, you'll be home more. And that's going to have you feeling even more safe. You'll do better work, you'll get home faster, on and on and on. This does not take years. This takes, if you put one thing in place today, you'll see results today. Now, I know you have never heard this. How do I know? Because I invented it and this is the first time I'm sharing it. And anytime you hear something new, your brain is going to offer you some fears. And what I teach my clients is fears are no reason to hold you back. They do need to be addressed though, so that you can be open to these new changes. So let's address the fears. There's three main fears you're probably having. One is, ooh, I might get in trouble. And here's what I want you to know. The current plan of working all the time and thinking all the time and worried about being fired or getting in trouble all the time, this is getting you in trouble now. Has you feeling terrible. It has you, that overworking cycle has you picking up more work you don't want to do, making all sorts of mistakes. It has you fearful of your boss. It actually makes it more likely you will quit or leave your job. It makes your job unsafe. It gets you in trouble now. Plus, a tired brain worries a lot. It can't put anything into perspective. It thinks any terse email or slight huff at a meeting means you're in trouble. So here's what I want you to know that will help. You can't get in trouble. You cannot get in trouble. You're a grown doctor. It's not grade school. The worst that will happen is there will be a meeting scheduled. You'll have conversations and decisions. That's it. And if you get in trouble, whatever that means to you, here's what you'll want to know. You will be able to handle that too, especially if you're in our community and you have an expert career negotiation coach. You better believe we're going to be on your side, right? 100%. You'll go to the meeting, you'll share your perspective, you'll collaborate to make a plan, and our group will help you script out a process. We'll work with you, we'll coach you through it all. You'll negotiate for the support you need. You'll make the job better for you, your boss, and your center. So here's what you need to know. There's no getting in trouble. If the worst that happens is your job gets a lot better. And when you're in our community where you have our processes and a coach and a community, there's no getting in trouble again. I'll tell you my story. So here is my personal story, is that my boss at one time forgot or whatever, we'll just kind of leave it at that I was a physician coach and that I had paid clients. Even though I had submitted in my annual documents, it was submitted in formal channels to the university. I gave multiple grand rounds and workshops on it in our department. I was not hiding anything. It was very, very visible. And people loved it. There were faculty who came to me to help them work through sticky issues. There were residents who came who needed support. And it was such an amazing part of my career. But nevertheless, got a phone call. We need to talk to you. You might be fired. I may have to take your coaching company away. I might have to take all your clients and all of your revenue away. And how I treat it is just like I'm teaching you. I am not in trouble. I am a human I'm a good doctor. I'm a good person, and I'm not in trouble. This person I'm going to meet with, my boss, not my friend, but she's also not my enemy. She's a woman who is a strong leader who wants to make sure everyone is safe. We have so much in common. We both want to do the right thing. We both want to protect the university. And also some of these rules aren't very clear. And we can come together to help each other in really powerful ways. This created safety in my body. So when I went to these meetings, I could listen. I could hear what she was concerned about, and I could reassure her because I had already reassured myself. So I said, hey, listen, I wasn't hiding anything. Look at all this documentation. Look at all of the public presentations I gave for our group. I clearly wasn't hiding anything. And I could say, and I understand your job is hard because your job is to protect everyone and make sure everyone's following the rules. And the rules aren't super clear. And so I get it too. And as we both found a footing that we were on the same page, I could share the science behind coaching is really powerful. It's the only thing that's been scientifically shown to prevent burnout, improve wellness, improve mental health. It's such a powerful tool. And could we partner together, work together, and do more than either one of us could do on our own? We build this legacy together. So I left this series of meetings, which I think were 2, maybe 3, with less clinical effort. Money set aside for coaching, owning all of my assets, keeping all of my clients, support from her, and what I really wanted to do, which is coaching, and less of what I didn't want to do. No call, no frozens. I don't think there's another doctor on the planet who had that job. That job was a good job, and I could have been there forever in it. And we left feeling as 2 women who are working really well together. I felt stronger in our relationship because of it. We were able to contribute together. We were partnering together to do more than what one of us could have done alone. It was amazing. It made the job better, not worse. And that's what you get in my community. That's what you get with these processes, is that you're going to be done worrying about getting in trouble forever. Create so much more success at your job and also be able to be home more. Be done being scared about your job because you'll make your job safe. Enjoy your work so much more. So your second fear is, how the heck am I going to get my work done if I work less? You ready? Work expands into whatever time frame you give it. So if you give yourself unlimited time, your brain is going to give you, it's going to say, we need all the time to do the work. So instead of giving yourself 7 days to do work, you give yourself 5 days to do work, and your brain will constrain to the 5 days and you'll get better work done faster. Plus, the work you get done will be so much better because you'll have a rested brain, not a tired brain. You'll deliver better patient care when you have time to rest. And with so much love, being caught up in medicine is just not a thing. It's literally endless. So as soon as you get down to 0 emails, 100 more will come in. You get down to 0 open notes, 50 more will come in. The work doesn't end on itself until we end it. And in my community, my program, we learn how to end the workday in a way that feels sustainable. Your last fear, before I show you the program or the strategies, is I really can't cut back right now because we're understaffed and I don't want to burden my colleagues. So here's what I want to let you know. You won't burden your colleagues with our process. There is no step in this process where we say, leave all your work on your colleagues and run home. Not at all. Remember, we're teaching you how to be a better doctor so you're happier at work, which if you're more fun around, you're more fun to be around and you're getting better quality work done, it helps your colleagues. I was there. I know what it's like when I hated my job and I was miserable. And every time I talked to my work friends, I was just hating on the whole job. That burdened my colleagues. But the way we teach it actually helps them. Plus, your colleagues, I promise you, do not want to be at work 24/7 either. They just don't know another way. And so when you're in this program and you start being an example of what's possible, it helps them a great deal. It strengthens your relationships. It opens possibilities for them. So how do we get this done? How do we get this started? It's called the SAFE method. It will get you home early today and for the rest of your career. It's very simple. It's 4 steps. And we'll go through each of these steps. So each letter of SAFE is an acronym for something. So S is schedule, A is approved, F is focus on what you love, and E is eliminate what you don't. We'll walk through each of them, and as I approach the next topic, you'll see that that block will go white. So let's start with schedule. Ready? I invented, here's my creation, work-life solution scheduling system. And here's what it looks like. You decide at the beginning of the day when you're going to go home. Most doctors go to work. I have no idea. They tell themselves, I have no idea when I come home, whenever the work gets done, right? It just forces our brain to kind of drip the work out and expand the work endlessly. So of course, we wind up working 24/7 and always thinking about work. Plus, if you let the tired part of your brain decide when you go home, here's what's going to happen. Your tired brain will always want to stay at work. 5 more minutes, just one more thing. I got to get this done right now. Never leave work. You'll never be able to leave work on time. Not knowing when you're coming home is making your job unsafe. Please hear that. Not knowing when you're going to come home again is making your job unsafe. So how we make it safe is we decide at the beginning of the day with the best part of our brain what time we're going to leave. We let the rested, smartest part of the brain say, I'm leaving at this time. And then we give our brain all day to get that work done in a constrained period of time. This is what creates safety in your job. So can you imagine airplane pilot rolls up to the airport, has no idea where she's going, no idea when she's coming home, no idea if she can eat today or go to the bathroom? That would never happen because there are laws in place to protect her. She has to have a certain number of hours of rest, certain number of hours of work, because it's dangerous for her to be flying while she's tired. There's so many lives at stake. It really is the same for us, except there are no laws in place to protect us. So we have to be the ones to police our time. We have to create safety at the job. And we make our job safe by deciding at the beginning of the day when you'll come home. And you could actually decide now. If you haven't decided earlier today, you can decide now. I'm going to be home at this time and just see what that feels like in your body. It starts to create safety in your body. And then your brain will get the work done faster. It's a beautiful thing. Expect when you get to that time, your tired brain is going to be like, oh, no, I don't want to, but I don't want to. It's going to say, I just need 5 more minutes, just one more thing. This won't take that long. I have to do this right now or else. If I don't do it, it won't get done. Expect your brain will say all of these things. And so here's what I want you to know that will help you at the end of the day. It's never 5 minutes. It's never just 5 minutes. As soon as you get to the end of 5 minutes, your brain's going to say, I just need 5 more. I just need 5 more. I just need 5 more until you're home 2 hours late. And because our brain is so much slower when it's tired, what might take you 5 minutes at the beginning of the day might well take you 15 to 30 minutes at the end. It's never 5 minutes. And keep in mind, tired brains will make mistakes. So if you stay just 5 more minutes and a major clinical error happens and someone gets hurt by it, it will take hours, days, emails, maybe lawsuits, maybe 100 meetings with 100 hospital lawyers to fix it. So because of all this, here's what you want to know. Going home late tonight does not make tomorrow better. It makes today worse, and it makes tomorrow worse too. So if you really want to make tomorrow better, here's my advice. Go home on time today. I actually teach my clients, go home a little earlier today. Leave knowing you did your best work. You are going to save yourself so much time and all the mistakes you're not going to make. You're going to leave feeling accomplished. You're going to save yourself so much time and energy because you'll get your work done faster. You'll train your brain to get your work done faster. You'll be home in time for dinner. You can cuddle with your kids. You can rest. You can recharge. You can have hours of rest to set yourself up for amazing sleep. You'll wake up, feel energized, recharged. You'll get better work done tomorrow in a fraction of the usual time. So here is a case study of what this looks like. Client Rebecca came to me. She wasn't really sleeping very well. Her mind was constantly running her to-do list. She woke up tired before the day began. She got to work. No idea when she'd leave. Worse, work took longer than she'd like because her brain was so tired. It had infinite time to do work. She to pick herself up. She did some TikTok during the day. She procrastinated on her notes because she's like, I'll just do them at 10 p.m. tonight. She beat herself up about being slow, about making the mistakes, about getting home late again. She arrived home cranky, hungry, grumpy, guilty over all that. More fights with her husband. All that just set her up for another terrible night of sleep and repeated again the next day. So what we did in coaching, the very first step we did was we decided, okay, let's tell our brain when we're going to go home. At the beginning of the day, she decided, I'm leaving at 4:30. She was used to leaving at 7, 8, 9. It was just kind of drip drab. She's like, I really can't get my work done at 4:30 is what we worked on. And her brain just got the work done so much faster. She made fewer mistakes, so she didn't have to spend hours a day correcting mistakes. She left work feeling accomplished. She got home for dinner most nights, got a real sense of a connection with her family. She was having time to unwind, getting along better with her husband, so she slept better. She woke up feeling more rested, and she enjoys her job, and it shows. She has had her biggest productivity bonus yet while cutting back. This is why it works. It helps you be a better doctor when you get to be a better mom. They're the mom you want to be. So here is my case study. This is my schedule, my exact calendar as it looks, and you can see it's red everywhere. So before I invented these processes, I was either working or thinking about work. Those were the only two options. And it had been years since I'd gone to the gym. I was heartbroken over missing kids' performances. I hated my job like it was a sport. I felt super disconnected and reactive. It was just red all the time. So I did this very first step. I just said, Christina, let's just go home 15 minutes early. That's it. So instead of leaving at 7 when my eyes just felt like they're about to pop out of my head, I left at 6:45. Just 15 minutes early is it, which didn't stress out my system. And here's what happened. No disasters. Didn't get in trouble, got all my work done faster, actually made fewer mistakes. Over time, I realized, okay, this is safe to leave 15 minutes earlier. And then I stretched it to leaving 30 minutes earlier, then an hour earlier, then 2 hours earlier. Each day, I saved myself hours each day, which you give back to yourself in terms of relaxing, in terms of unwinding and connecting to your family, being the mom you want to be. So I got better sleep and I found myself more connected to my marriage, less fighting and yelling with the kids and the husband. So I followed this process and just iteratively improved it until I wasn't working nights anymore. And then I lopped off weekends as well. I was done working nights and weekends. What I teach my clients is, as I was getting to this phase, is I teach my clients to plan your essentials first. What most doctors are going to do, or they're going to let work be red all over their calendar, and then they're going to put their doctor's appointments or their kids' performances in whatever white space is left. And for most of us, there's not a lot of white space, if any. And so I teach the reverse. The first thing you're going to want to do in your schedule is plan your essentials and then let work drape around that. So the first thing I did on Monday morning was go to my coach. It helped my whole week when I was having my mind supported. And I knew exercise was something I really deeply missed, and it helped me feel energized and think well. So I added swimming Wednesday and Friday mornings and Sunday. Now notice I didn't stay later on those days. I just started carving time out of my existing work schedule and just getting the work done faster. And then family activities. So this is the process I follow. This is the process I teach, and we just keep working with you. We individualize strategies to help you get dialed in to the schedule that makes sense. What will help you is our to-do less tracker. So I teach my clients to live free from the to-do list. If your to-do list is driving you nuts, here's how you can live free of your to-do list too. I have my clients write everything down their brain wants them to do, which is going to be a lot. And you don't have to do all that, but you want to get it out so your brain's not constantly spinning. Don't forget, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do that, So you just cut out all the buts by writing it all down. Your brain's like, oh, she sees me, great. Now, at least half of what you wrote down is totally unnecessary. It's perfectionistic thinking. So I teach my clients, you're going to cross out everything that is not essential to getting the result you want. So it's not essential, we just cross it out. If you hate it and it's unessential, we definitely cross it out. You're going to be left with a much leaner list of only essential items. We're going to choose to delegate some of these to someone who could do a better job at it. So maybe that's husband or kids or admin or a coworker or your fellow, or hiring someone to come do the dry cleaning, for example, or clean the house, for example. It's going to be a much smaller list of what you have left. Everything you have left is things you want to do that are essential for your result, which is going to feel so good. I want these items done. And are probably between 3 and 5 items. We circle the one priority item of the day. You don't need a list. You only have one item. So that's how you can be free of your to-do list. Here's what I learned when I was working this to-do less tracker. At least 95% of meetings that had been put on my calendar by an admin who meant well, at least 95% of meetings I could skip entirely. Nobody cared that I was there. I didn't want to be there, that's for sure. And it saved, I literally 5 to 10 hours a week just with this step alone. When I looked at this list, and when you're working with me, we'll go through the list together. But I realized there were so many parts of my job I didn't have to do at all, flat didn't all have to do. This happens with a lot of physician moms, but my boss had tasked me with organizing birthday parties for our group, which was ridiculous. I was having trouble organizing my kids' birthday parties, and now I was organizing for grown adults. It was not fun. And it involved getting a car, getting cupcakes, renting a room, finding a time everyone could work, arranging it, hosting it, cleaning it. It was absolutely a nightmare. And so I was able to negotiate with the boss and say, hey, listen, what did your admin just love this? This is kind of a fun job for an admin, right? And we worked together to move this work off of my plate. I teach an email process that you'll learn when you join my program, but I'll just give you a couple of steps of how to prevent work email from wrecking your day. And the highlights are, we check our email 3 times a day, 10 minutes each, that's it. And at very constrained periods of time. So what most doctors will do will come in and start checking their email. They'll get distracted. Your focus level will just get all cluttered up with all this email. There'll be email related stress. You'll start your clinic and you'll already feel completely exhausted. So I teach my clients, first time you check your emails 2 hours after you arrive at work, which saves you the best part of your brain for the hardest part of your job. Now you'll take a break 2 hours in, you'll have established momentum, a rhythm, gotten a lot of your hard work done. You'll take a break then. Second break is after lunch. Do not check it during or before lunch, or you might lose your appetite, or you might not get a chance to eat. You have to be nourished in order to create safety at work. And the last time to check it is 2 hours before you leave. What most doctors will do will check it right as they're leaving. They'll open up all these problems that don't need to be solved right then and there, and they'll wind up staying hours later. Your tired brain will be answering those emails, and the answer it will say is, yes, I can do this call. Yes, I can stay late here. Yes, I can it will just go into overworking cycle. So do it. Last check is 2 hours before leaving. Let your brain have time to answer and address what needs to be answered and addressed, and then time to decompress so you don't take email stress home with you. Other things to consider, take your work email off your phone yesterday. Only check your work email when you're on a big computer. It'll make it so much more efficient. You'll have a bigger screen. You'll be able to access the EMR, whatever you need, and it'll be so much more efficient. You don't have to toggle between tiny little screens. Stop responding to every email. Oh my gosh, not everybody. I learned this was a big time saver for me is Not every email needs a response. And sometimes if I respond, I just say okay or a thumbs up. That's it. Saves so much time. All of this together, our work-life solution strategy scheduling system, it massively opened up my calendar. Felt so much more connected in my marriage, got so much time back. I found energy and capacity and motivation and creativity. I just started tapping into, and I came up with these really big passion projects that brought a lot of attention to our university, that brought a lot of purpose and meaning for myself. It really helped me love my job. It made visible impact. So I was able to leverage that for less clinical service, higher salary, more opportunities by cutting back. All right, so that is S. Now let's look at A. A is approved. Safe method A is approved. And here's what I mean by this. There is a no boss conversation here that we follow. Many times after decades of training, we get to our first job and we're like, well, we can't leave. It's not 5 o'clock yet. We have to stay at our desk. We have this, there's a part of us that has this expectation someone is going to tell us to leave. That will never happen. The people will come into your office, will be like, here, do this, do this, do that. So we have to get in the habit of giving ourselves that approval, giving ourselves that permission. What can help is reminding yourself this actually isn't a 9 to 5 job. There are plenty of times where you're going to be there at midnight, Christmas Eve. I sure was when I was on call, holiday call. So there's going to be so many times when you actually will be there way past 5 p.m., which means this isn't a 9 to 5 job. You get to leave and come when you say you're going to leave and come. And know that the job never ends until we end it. So what you're going to want to practice here is giving yourself approval. I'm going to leave at 4:30. All my work's done. Everyone's tucked in. Approved. That's what it's going to sound like. Permission granted. You get to be internalized. What I teach in my program is internalize being your own boss. It will liberate you to really cut back and do your best work ever and enjoy this job so much more. I'll give you 3 examples of clients who follow this process to create amazing results. So when Kelly joined, her boss told her, you're never going to get a raise. Just don't even ask. And she was devastated because she came into believing her boss's words were facts. And here's something I teach in my program. Your boss's words are sentences. They're actually not facts. And in our program, we figure out what are the facts you would like to see, and let's just make them happen. So she decided, she gave herself permission to want a raise. Approved, right? We just practiced the approval process. And what we realized is that she hated research. She never wanted to do it, but she loved trainee education. So when she was able to stop shaming herself that she didn't like to do research, and she applied these strategies you're learning today, she created a lot of time and energy for passion projects. She partnered with educators all over the globe. They won international prizes. Her university noticed. She was given a leadership title, which came with reduced clinical service, more money, a higher raise, a bonus. Prizes, it amount as of August, $141,000 August alone. There's still more of the year. This is what happens when you let your boss be wrong about you. When you let their words be words and not have to be facts. When you give yourself approval to create the facts you want, and inside my program, we help you make that happen. Susan is somebody else I want to introduce you to because she brings up a very sensitive topic for most physicians, which is office space. She's a senior leader at a major academic center, had worked her way up 16 years to a corner office with big windows, and she loved her office. And her boss constantly threatened it. She was eventually moved to a windowless office in a basement, sharing it with someone she didn't really like. So she joined coaching completely devastated. And this is a very common theme in coaching. And what we did is we kind of said, okay, what do you really want here? And let's go and get it. So she wanted a nice office. We helped her negotiate for a beach house that she'd been dreamed of since she was a child. We helped her negotiate for a 4-day work week, which means every week is 4 days and every weekend is 3 days. And every Friday, she's at the beach house. We helped her hire an interior designer who glammed up the space so that she's so excited to be in her new office space. Her new office space looks out at the ocean. She loves her office space. It's better than her boss's. And she actually loves her job now that her boss is not threatening the thing that's so important to her. She gets along great with her boss. She goes to work to that nasty little basement office, and she gets her work done fast because she doesn't want to be there, right? And she gets home to this beautiful office space that she deserves. So her problem was she thought, as most doctors do, the hospitals have nice office spaces. They don't. Hospitals have janky office spaces with boring paint colors and furniture you would never buy on your own. Her best office was never at the hospital, and yours isn't either. And inside my program, we figure out what is it you want approved, and then we just go create it. The last client I want to tell you about is Jen, who was the only physician mom in her group of good old boys. They all had stay-at-home wives. They all had adult children. She really didn't feel like she fit in, that she always had to prove herself. She always wound up with the worst schedule, worst call. And when she joined, she was tearful in her car before the shift started. It was just, her job was so unsafe to her. So we started with is, what is it that you really want? And she said she wanted to take the summer off to be with her kids. So what we did is we negotiated. We were like, approved. And we worked together on negotiating to take a paid sabbatical. And she is traveling the world with her family right now. And she is loving her job that is paying for this trip, just like Susan is loving her job that's paying for the beach house, right? Just like our first client is loving her job because it's created $141,000 in this calendar year alone. When you cut back, you will love your job more. You'll be a better doctor and you'll be the mom you want to be. You have to start with approving what you want. And we do that in my program. So F is focus on what you love. I wish I had known this when I first started out. I wish every med student could get this, because I would have saved myself years in therapy and so much distress. And notice that F and E, their last two steps, are going to be very customized to you. It won't look like anyone else's, which is perfection. So here's what I mean by focus on what you love. I'm going to show you how to do this. But before I show you, I'm going to say that the tip is to honor your natural preferences. Whatever you naturally love, that's always going to be the way. For example, if we were to just go around the room, what ice cream do you like? I would say mint chocolate chip. Someone else would say Rocky Road. Someone else would say vanilla. And we wouldn't be like, ooh, that's gross. You'd be like, oh, of course. Everyone has different preferences. Bring that thinking to your career, because as soon as we come to our career, people will say, well, academics is amazing and teaching trainees is dumb. When we start degrading our own preferences, never do that. Borrow this beautiful thinking that your natural preferences are the way. It will make your job safe when you do that. Check in regularly. Your preferences may change over time, not a problem. Some things may never change, good to know. And you'll want to complete this from your voice, not from your boss's voice, your mom or your husband's voice, your kid's voice. You want to avoid should statements, expectations, and condition responses, but good doctors should. You want to avoid that kind of language. I'll tell you that's tricky. And by doing this in my program, we do this together. You and I just come together and we make this list up together. It's so much easier to have someone outside of your brain guide you. But here's how you do it. Ready? It's very simple. Think back to the happiest time of your career, wherever that is, if that was yesterday or 10 years ago. Write everything down about what you were doing. What were you loving? Oops, you don't have to do that now, but just kind of start like percolating on that. So for me, coaching, mentoring, building programs, teams, anything creative. Good to know, right? Because it sounds obvious, but I promise most people in the hospital have no idea what they love. And so when the boss says, come by, can you write 10 papers? Or can you see 1,000 more patients tomorrow? We're like, okay, yes, because we feel like we don't have a choice. But you can use this as a filter. So when boss says, hey, can you run this research project, or could you do a coaching program? You'll be like, let me look at my focus on what I love. Coaching program it is. I am going to turn off captions. I don't know why they just came on. Okay, so when you're here, here's what you need to know. Spend as much time as you can in this place on the parts that you love. How you'll be able to do that is if you avoid judging your natural preferences as wrong. Know that you will not be here 24/7, and it's not because you have a terrible job or boss or that you're a terrible human, not at all. It's because you're human. No one's job ever is 100% in this box, and I'll help you when you're not. Which brings us to E. Our last step is eliminate what you don't. Here's how to do it. This part, the part of the job you don't like, by the way, just means you're a human. Where you want to watch out for, so many times people land here and they're like, oh, this job is the worst. I'm the worst. I'm the worst boss. And from that place of feeling like a failure, it's really impossible to correct the job. The job becomes so dangerous to us. So we want to say, this is the part of the job that everybody has I don't like so much. Here's how we work through that. So here's how you identify. You have to know what you don't love so you can eliminate it. You think back to the most miserable part of your career, the part was really ouchy, that was really horrible. Write everything down that you hated about it. This is good to know. You want to know this. These are going to be your guidelines to be filter. When boss comes to you with some of this stuff, we're going to say no. We're going to negotiate or we're going to have a conversation, for example. It's just good to know. So when I wrote down what I hated, it was writing books, papers, grants, IRBs, admin schedules, meetings, committees, titles. I saw this, was like, you got to be kidding me. This is why I was so miserable. I was constantly doing and telling myself the only thing that mattered in my job were all these things I hated. Of course, I hated my job. I was following, this is my boss's plan for me, not my plan for me. It was against everything I cared for. So good to know. When you're here, because everyone will be here, I promise, nothing has gone wrong. Here's how you can help yourself. You don't have to like this part. You can legitimately hate writing books. Okay. You can. And it doesn't mean you're a bad person. You're just like, of course, I don't love this part. Also tell yourself this part is temporary. It's not going to be here forever. And we'll use this as really guidelines to getting back on track. When you're here, I teach my clients to be creative and self-supporting. So here's what it would sound like. I hate writing books. I find myself writing a book. Why? Because not everyone's going to be able to go to a fellowship at Johns Hopkins. And I think, and I want my legacy to be the person that helps everyone feel like they had a similar experience. I want to help create more leaders in the world that look more like me and less like older white men. That felt so good in my body. I want to help more physician moms. I want to help more trainees. I want to help people from all over the world who don't have the resources or privilege I have. That felt so good. I could use that to motivate me for the harder parts of my job. And I teach my clients also ask yourself, how could it be easier? If you're choosing this because of important reasons, how could it be easier? So I didn't write all the books myself. No way. I recruited brilliant minds and we just divvied it up and we did little tiny bits together. Check in often, allow yourself to quit anytime. It will feel very liberating. So the hardest parts of my job, I tell myself, Christina Arnold, you can quit any day. You can be that Southwest airline employee who pops a beer and hops down the slide. Do you remember this? You can quit anytime. Do you want to quit today? And most of the time my brain was like, no, I definitely don't want to quit today, which means I'm choosing this job for a purpose. There's something here for me that made the day feel so much easier. So this is how you make your job safe. It's 4 simple steps called the SAFE method. Your schedule, approve, focus on what you love, and eliminate what you don't. And this works really, really fast. I'll give you an example of another case study, Jessica. She came into coaching wanting to leave medicine entirely. She just felt devastated at her job. She always felt like she was behind and less than. And her boss didn't like her. And her boss let her know, you should be further ahead. She really thought she was the problem and that she shouldn't have been a doctor altogether. Her job felt very unsafe to her. And so what we did is we applied some of these principles. And I'll tell you, that day she wrote me, she said, Christina, I had more fun at work this afternoon. She's like, I don't ever remember having fun. I had a little bit of fun at work today. Did not take years. She wrote me the next week and said, I was laughing with my colleagues. I was noticing I was leaving work hours early each day because I was having fun and I was focusing. Third week, she said, the colleagues and my boss came by, they were telling me they noticed something different. I seem more confident. I'm more efficient. I'm enjoying my job more. So this boss on the 4th week, the boss who said she didn't deserve a leadership title, 4 weeks in said, I'm retiring and I want you to take over. Are you up for it? Offered her job. That's how fast it works. Now, I want to say Jessica was not interested in that leadership title. So just because options become available doesn't mean you have to take them. And it's a great reason to be in a community is that we can help you sort through which ones are good options and which ones are not. And how do we work with the boss to make sure everyone's supported? But this is the power of cutting back. It makes you a better doctor and the mom you want to be. And it happens fast. So in summary, physician jobs aren't safe. The lack of safety drives the overworking cycle. You make your job safe by working less, and working less will make you a better doctor, the mom you want to be. It'll stabilize your job. It'll help your colleagues. You'll strengthen your relationship with your job, your boss, your community. And how you make your job safe is a SAFE method you learned today. It's 4 simple steps. One is all based on scheduling through the work-life balance scheduling system. You also got a to-do list tracker and email hacks. A is approve. Get in the process of internalizing being your own boss and approving what you want. And in our community will help you get it. We'll make it into effect. History. F, focus on what you love. E, eliminate what you don't was that customized strategy that you got today. And you heard my stories and client success stories as well. So lots of examples of how fast this works. And I want you to think about this is what would you do with an extra 20 hours a week? Because that's actually what my clients are seeing. They're coming home hours early a day, 20 plus hours a week. Just think about that for a minute. What does that mean for you? For most physicians, they're going to be saying, I'm going to have more sleep. I'm going to get to daycare early. I'm not going to feel like a pressure cooker all day long. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to read a book for pleasure. I'm going to have time to watch TV for fun. I'm going to go to dinner with a spouse. I'm going to have hours each night to just cuddle my kids and play trains or go to the park. You'll have more time to travel, to nap, take up a guitar, maybe do nothing in particular, right? So you're probably thinking, how can I do this? You absolutely can with our help inside of Next Level Freedom, which is my signature coaching program. The secret, though, is I promise you, your brain is going to offer, you're a physician mom, your brain's going to say, but I can do this on my own. I can just listen to some audiobooks. I'm just going to give this a try. I'm just going to hope and pray that the next boss is better. We'll just wait another 10 to 15 years. Your brain is going to want to do this on your own because as a physician mom, we are actually used to doing a lot of things on your own. But what I want to tell you, the secret of getting this done fast is do not do this on your own. You're brilliant, but if you could have done it on your own, you would have done it by now because physician moms really can do anything. I firmly believe that. That you haven't just means you need a community and a coach and a process to work through. It's not enough to hope and pray and listen to audiobooks. On your own, your job will crush these strategies. You need someone to help partner with you and be on your side. The job will always be the job. It will always want more of your time. It will never be enough. Your brain will always want to overwork. So you need an expert who can help say, hey, listen, I don't think you want to say yes to that. Or let's negotiate. Let's come up with a script. Let's practice. Let's practice and identify what you want to do. You need someone outside of your brain to help you. You need a safe space to apply these strategies. In my program, you'll learn how to create safety. You'll learn what safety feels like in your body. And once you know what it feels like, you'll be able to go out and create it at your job, at your in-laws, anywhere you go in life. You need a place to apply these strategies. These strategies are amazing and they're exactly what I use, but unless you have help applying them, you're just not going to see results. You need support in real time for when your boss drops by and says, hey, listen, you can't go on vacation. Or listen, your promotion didn't go through. Or listen, your husband says mother-in-law's coming and she doesn't like how you keep the kitchen. Like you need support in applying these tools. 100%. Everyone does. It's not just you. It's like every brain needs somebody else to help them. You need a community to anchor you to your values, to remind you what's important, to help you remember what's important for you and help you apply what you learn, and to see examples of what's possible at your center. If you're surrounded by workaholics who are living in the hospital, your brain is going to think you have to be a workaholic and live in the hospital to be a good doctor. When you come in my community and you see, oh, this physician mom cut back and got a 100K raise, maybe it is possible for me. You start seeing possibility where you didn't see it before. You have to know this. Community is required for safety. There is science behind this. On our own, we can't feel safe. Community is required for humans to feel safe. We are the sum of our community. If your community exists only of work colleagues, you will feel unsafe unless you're working 24/7. And even then, you won't feel safe. So you need to join a community that matches your values. In our community, you're going to join a community of physician moms who are cutting back, being better doctors by being the moms they want to be. When this is your norm, this is what you'll create. So I'm going to introduce you to Next Level Freedom. It is my signature lifetime access signature coaching program for physician moms who want an ethical career where you're safe in the workplace. You become a better doctor, advance your career, meaning you just have lots more options by being the mom you want to be through reclaiming your time. Our priority is your safety. And once that's achieved, everything else becomes possible. The result is you cut back to part-time hours at your full-time doctor job. So here's what it looks like when you join. You're going to get immediate access. I'm going to walk you through the features. You're going to get immediate access. And this is new, as we have a brand new curriculum to accelerate our results. You came today, you heard the SAFE method. SAFE method is one tiny part of what we do in our program to help you accelerate your results of cutting back to part-time hours. You get customized frameworks here. This is personalized support embedded in the curriculum. And in our program, no one's ever left behind. That's what I think the beauty of lifetime access is. You don't have to do it all at once. You'll never be alone, and we don't give up on you. We keep working until you're at part-time hours. So as we've studied the process over the years, I've simplified everything down into 5 steps, 5 modules. And you don't have to do them all. I, in fact, say pick and choose. So we've had someone, let me show you the modules. Module 1 is making great decisions fast. Module 2 is how to stop thinking about work 24/7. Module 3, how to triple the white space on your calendar. Module 4, negotiation strategies to fix a job for good. Module 5, rest is the ultimate productivity hack. So I say don't plan on going through them all. Just pick what seems interesting to you. We've had people join on a Sunday, listen Sunday night to our negotiations training, show up to their Monday morning annual review and create a $100,000 raise. That's how fast it works. You don't have to do it all. You just get to pick and choose. Module 1 is how to make great decisions fast. So listen, if you're not safe at work, you will work 24/7 and decisions will interrupt all of that. They will interrupt the 24/7 overworking. In this module, you're going to learn how to make great decisions, and they will save you hours, if not years, of your life spending indecision. Make you safe, help you cut back to part-time hours. So here's a glimpse. All this is immediately available as soon as you join. Decisions that get you back 25 hours a week or more. One decision that makes your job 100% better. Use what you hate about the job to fix it for good. How to eliminate drama and pain around decisions. I teach a success joy matrix that will solve decisions for you. You don't even have to think. It just kind of lays it all out. The best method to avoid mistakes, decisions that create amazing results, 7 decision filters to avoid regret, and solving indecision exhaustion. Module 2 is how to stop thinking about work 24/7. In this module, when you're not safe, you're going to think about work all of the time. You'll have imaginary fights in your head. You'll think about the annual review from last year all year long. It's constant chatter. So this module, you learn how to quiet your brain. A quiet brain will know how to create safety. And when you're safe, that's when you cut back to part-time hours. So when you join, you'll get immediate access to all this: how to interrupt mental spinning with one sentence, how to stop ruminating on past conversations, one framework that helps stop overthinking when all options are terrible, how to quiet your mental chatter of a very busy mind, stop overthinking in less than 3 minutes, be done with rehashing difficult conversations with difficult people. Module 3 is how to triple the white space on your calendar. People love this. I've had people write me and say, please write a book on this. But I said, I'm done writing books. Didn't you hear what I said about my history? I'm done writing books. But people love this. So this is how we teach you how to open up your calendar. We have a done formula and a tiny habits method. This module is geared to all the main obstacles you have, which is procrastination, perfectionism, imposter syndrome, and people pleasing. And we address it all here. And once you release it, you're going to, like my clients, you'll be like, what am I going to do with all this free time, Christina? That's a good problem to have. And then we work together on using your free time for you. So when you join, you'll get immediate access to get your project 10 times done, 10 times faster with 10% of the effort. Tiny habits for massive wins. Cure procrastination, perfectionism in 3 simple steps. How to stop people pleasing, eliminate imposter syndrome. When you don't want to do anything, here's what you can do. How to get your projects done without dread. Module 4 is negotiation strategies to fix the job for good. So essential part of making your job safe and cutting back to part-time hours is knowing how to make good decisions and how to execute them with negotiations. We are not taught negotiations in med school. And what we've been taught post-training is usually by kind of bro dudes who have a lot of confidence, aggressive tactics, competition. They get this or I get that. No wonder it doesn't work for us. We teach the only negotiation process developed for physician moms. You won't find it anywhere else. It uses your inherent strengths of collaboration, compassion, relationship building. The top negotiations process and 4-step irresistible ask module, it strengthens your relationships while making the job a better fit for you, your boss, and your center. So when you join, you get immediate access to this. And this has created millions and millions of dollars for people. It's really, really profound. So you'll get immediate access to know what you really, really want before negotiating. Most people have no idea what they want. We reveal that for you in this module, and then we also can work with you to make this so simple and clear. Simple success solution for negotiations. When you think you actually can't negotiate, here's how you can approach it. How to negotiate without being afraid. A 4-step strategy to guarantee success in any negotiations. Top 10 negotiation strategies and 4-step irresistible ask process. I mean, you have to watch that. It's so good. And then 2 questions that will 20x your success in negotiations. And the results really speak for themselves. So these are just a handful of people who have created results. And you'll notice when we go after raises, these aren't tiny raises. These are going to be 5, 6-figure raises per year. Amplify that across your career. It's millions of dollars. And why I love working with physician moms is that when you learn this process, you don't keep it to yourself. Physician moms do not hoard. So I've had many wives who've come in who've created a $112,000 raise, and they taught their husband, and their husband got a $112,000 raise, and now they're both collectively making more than her boss. Amazing. Which is more opportunities for your children. It's more time freedom. It's not having to have a side hustle, a second job in real estate, a third job in expert witness. It gives you that freedom and ease and safety by working less when you know how to negotiate with our process. I've also had physicians, moms who joined and learned. One client that I can think of in academic medicine created a $90,000 raise. And then she shared it with all her girlfriends who also started at centers across the country. And they all created $90,000, $100,000, $112,000 raises. When you know this, you make the world a safer place, because when women have money, the world is a safer place. It will also stabilize your job. When you're paid well, you're not going to be looking for other jobs. You're going to feel like, oh, this is a good job, right? Yes, 100%. So what I want you to think about is what's on your wish list? What's on your Post-it note? And what if you join, we just make it a fact. It's definitely, I wanted to say, it's not all, money is important, don't get me wrong. And also, some people came in and their priority was, I don't want any more call. Some people came in, they wanted to be a chair with grants and protected time. Other people came in, they wanted a 6-month, a 3-month, a 12-month sabbatical. 12 months, paid salary, 0 clinical responsibilities, and freedom to do whatever they want. Huge, right? Huge. Other people have come in wanting to be program director with a raise and less service. We have a medical director. So I think the best time to learn these techniques is when you're a new faculty. So you set good habits in place. But this definitely isn't just for new faculty. We've seen senior leaders also adopt this process and be such an example for their center of outstanding work and also supporting families. So we have one client, SE, who is a medical director, a senior leader, and who through our process leaves work 5 hours early each day. She used to leave at 9, now she leaves at 4. It's like gifting herself 2 lifetimes of experiences, right? So much free time. So whatever's on your wish list, know that you can create it inside our program so much faster when you have a guide, an expert, and proven processes. Our last module is rest as the ultimate productivity hack. When your job isn't safe, you won't be able to rest. And in this module, you'll learn how to rest, which allows you to recover from a tough day. And my analogy here is, think about Olympians. If an Olympian had to sprint her whole life, her career would be like 40 minutes long, right? She would hurt herself. We have to have pauses to recover. Most Olympians are going to spend most of their time resting, in recovery, stretching, getting a massage, right? Olympians are going to rest so that they can sprint for those short periods of time. As physicians, we tend to expect ourselves to sprint all the time, and no wonder it affects our health. No wonder we wind up burnout. So when a client comes to me, they're like, I just can't get enough done. I'm always working. My answer to them is always, you're not resting enough. Let's develop a resting plan for you. And as soon as they become rested, they get more work done faster. The result will always be to rest more. So in this module, you get immediate access to my personal 6-minute grounding exercise. I developed this for myself and I've shared it with all my clients. They love it. How to rest when your brain's screaming at you to be productive and clean the kitchen. 10 strategies for the best sleep of your life. How to rest even when you can't get off the phone. A 3-minute bedtime routine for amazing sleep. And then I also include 6 lessons, and we'll have another one soon, from expert guest coaches who will teach you how to rest better through tapping, sleep techniques, pause and presence tools, energy clearing, and CBT tools. All of this is immediately available as soon as you join right now. To recap, when you join, you're going to get lifetime access to our brand new 5-module curriculum. It has the mindset and strategy and includes everything you need to work part-time hours. In addition to the branded curriculum, you're also going to get weekly live coaching for life. You never have to struggle all alone ever again. We're here for you every week for life. This is really important to me, and this really separates us out from most physician groups, coaching groups. In 2019, I was moving between jobs. I had a lot of trauma at my first job. I was moving to my second one. And I had at that point been in therapy since I was 7 years old. I really loved being in therapy. It was so amazing. And when I came to Denver, I couldn't find anyone in my network who could see me without a 6 month wait period. It was such a delicate time in my mental health to have no support. And then the pandemic happened. And now that 6 month wait was like 18 months wait. I never want you to have that experience ever, ever, ever. So when my clients join and they enroll, they get lifetime access. You will never be alone again. You will never have to be on a wait list, hope someone has a spot open. We hold your spot for life. And I think the group call is one call alone is worth the whole price of the program. This is where you're going to get customized frameworks. We're going to help you in the application of these tools at your specific job with your specific family. You're going to hear tools here. If you listen to my podcast, you'll hear some version of it on the podcast, but it all started on these weekly group calls. So you'll hear it first before anyone else. This is where you'll get support in the application and you get help in real time. Because I tell you, you're going to go home with the SAFE method and your boss is going to write you an angry email or your mother-in-law is going to send you a terrible text and you'll be like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Nothing has gone wrong. You just need a community and a coach to help you process all of it. And we do that in real time. We rotate our call times so that everyone can make it live at some point, which means your zip code is never a barrier. We have people from the United States, Australia, London, New Zealand. We have people from all over the world. We have replays. They're available for your convenience. And I think these group calls too, I just want to say our curriculum is amazing. You'll find it nowhere else. And also you can skip the curriculum entirely. Just come to the group call. We'll do all the work for you, right? There's no homework in my world, no homework. And you don't have to do all of it. You just know like the security of knowing I have this resource forever. Makes your job safe. So we have your brand new curriculum, weekly live group coaching for life. And we also provide 360 support. You're going to save yourself so much time and money and convenience and all the coaches and programs and spaces you never have to hire because we take care of it all here. So we have people who join who are trainee and we help them with the boards and negotiating for their job and moving to the second job and buying a house and promotion and the marriage and the kids and then fertility and the pets and the in-laws and the aging parents and driving in snow and dating and sending kids to college and retirement and everything in between. We have one home for all of it. You don't have to hire a marriage coach and a parenting coach and a money coach. One home for all of it. What I love about it too is you have one coach who knows all of your story. You don't have to explain your story all over again. Every week, and what's so beautiful is when I see a client and we've worked together for years, I can see patterns that if you just go pop into a coaching call once in a while, that coach just can't see the arc of what's been happening. You don't have to explain your history. It's just one place. It's personalized tools for every stage of your life. So in addition, you got the brand new 5-module curriculum, weekly live group coaching for life, 360 support. You also get right now, as soon as you join, you can access, we have over 15 guest expert sessions. So these are topics from the industry leaders in our coaching field on areas that I could tell my clients were interested in learning more about. We bring them in so you don't have to go out and hire and research and date around with different coaches. You get the best coaches brought to you for convenience. So we have several different experts on charting hacks, sleeping, personal style and fashion, breaking free of to-do less sex, date like a CEO, money experts, tapping experts, how to somatic healing, energy clearing, self-compassion, pause and presence, more charting hacks, human designs, and how it can help you in your physician job, growing wealth through real estate, weight loss for physicians, decluttering experts on, right? Best people brought to you. Saves you so much time and energy. So we have the brand new 5-module curriculum you get as soon as you join, weekly live group coaching for life, 360 support, 15 plus guest expert sessions. And these are really fun. We've done book clubs for the physician mom experience. And how I pick them is what's a need that my clients have? How can we fill that gap? And what's also like a sexy, fun book topic that everyone's talking about. You are not expected to read at all. So that's why I call it book club, sort of. I present in 15, 20 minutes. What are the nuts and bolts of this book? and I give you a quick summary and my take on it. And I have had clients who are like, oh, I would never have read Atomic Habits on my own, but you taught me about it. So I went to work and around the water cooler they're talking about it, and I could chime in. And people are like, how do you have time to keep up with everything? Right? It just gives you this beautiful little fun piece to help support your growth. So we've done Atomic Habits, The Gap and the Gain, Chatters from a clinical psychologist at the University of Michigan. Very science heavy. I don't present any of the science. I just say, here's what works, right? If you want to read PubMed, you can get the book. I love the book. We had clients who were like, I'm kind of addicted to my phone. How can we stop? And I presented this book, Break Up and Make Up with Your Phone workshop. So helpful. So you get your brand new 5-module curriculum, weekly group coaching for life, 360 support, 15 plus guest expert sessions, book clubs, and you get immediate access to a content vault that's available right now. It's short modules focused on essential topics to support the physician moms. Just to show you what it looks like, I just screenshotted the library. People love time management, learning about procrastination, how to be your favorite person, prevent regret. Grief is a really one of the more popular topics because nowhere in medical school do you learn about grief. But if you're a physician mom, you for sure are going to encounter grief, and it's such a beautiful process to walk through. How to recover from burnout. We talk about everything. We talk about family vacations, how to survive them, how to handle any size disaster, how to deal with difficult people, self-compassion, somatic practices, sleep, coaching. If you love TV, I coach on some of the TV shows. News you can use, resignation, reinvention. I will say that I think probably the most popular thing people like about the Content Vault is we have what's the Archived Your Path and Focus podcast. It was my very first podcast. Started in 2020. There's 138 episodes, and it's only available in our program. I retired it from the general public. I retired it and people love it because it's just so raw. And I also retired it from the public because it's so raw. It's my journey through working through burnout in a very personal way. And I didn't want that available to the general public. My podcast now is more focused on on how we can help you versus what's going on in my life. But people love it. And that's where you're going to find it, the only place you'll find it. So when you join, you get a brand new 5-module curriculum, weekly live group coaching for life, 360 support, 15 plus guest experts, book clubs, content vault, and there is a private podcast that's just available for you. And as soon as you sign up, you can put it on your phone. You listen to like a regular podcast. It's lessons on everything that we do. It's audio version, so you can listen to it on the go. Some of the lessons are from my diary. Some are from my work with my coach. Some are from me doing one-on-one coaching. They're real treasures. Many of them are 3 minutes long. I think the one I did this week was 90 seconds. That's it. So in weeks where you have 100 hours of call and you just do not have more than 90 seconds, this is all you need to really help you patch through the week. So you have the brand new 5-module curriculum, weekly live group coaching for life, 360 support, 15 plus guest expert speakers, book clubs, content vault, private podcasts. I think this next piece really sets us apart from other programs too, as we teach, if you're interested in learning the basics of coaching, you want to be able to coach yourself, or maybe you want to be a coach at your center, we have a section on this. And I've seen our clients have used this to leverage to become a coach at their university and have time off and get more pay. Or they said they've used it to help heal their marriage or their parenting, or self-supporting to support you in between our sessions. All of it's immediately available. All right, so we have the brand new 5-module curriculum, weekly live group coaching for life, 360 support, 15 plus guest expert sessions, book clubs, content vault, private podcasts, coaching basics. And I think the best part is the community. Being with other physician moms will help normalize your experience. You'll realize, oh, I'm not the problem. And here are 10 different ways to solve it. For example, we had someone come in who was like, my university just told me I'm working every Saturday forever. They're making it a normal work day. I can't do it. I have to leave medicine. And we're like, let's pump those brakes. Of course, we don't want to do it. And let's find 10 different solutions. So there were 10 different women on the call, and everyone had a solution of how they reworked this. So they didn't have to work every Saturday for the rest of their life. So she left with 10 different strategies. She's not working Saturdays every day. This is the power of being in a community with other brilliant physician moms. You also get to see what's possible for you. So if you're at a center who never gives raises, you might think you'll never get a raise. And when you come in here and you see a hospitalist who negotiated to have fewer hours on service with a higher rate, you're going to be like, oh, that's possible for me too. And you can compare notes that way. I think what's brilliant is when you're in a community, you can get takeaways from watching other physician coaches, which means or other physician moms, you're going to save yourself time and energy on mistakes you'll never make. You also see things that are in your blind spot. You can't fix something if it's in your blind spot. But when you see another physician mom coming up, you're like, ooh, that sounds familiar. That's me. I'm going to take her coaching for me. This will help me too. Is this your poor team? I just had a call last night. It was, I think, four of us, four or five, six, maybe six of us. And we were talking about how hard it is as physician moms to find friends because when the babies are small, like there is no time for friends. And then the babies go to college and you're like, I want more friends. And it's hard. It's hard to make friends as a physician mom. But in our community, we were commenting on like how we all feel like best friends and how we should all go on a trip together. We're kind of thinking about Colorado or California. So you get your community, your belonging, your understanding, your support, and you have it for life. I think what sets us apart from other programs is when you join us, you become part of a movement. You become part of a mission. We are not just a coaching Zoom room. You're more than just a check every couple of months. Not at all. That's why we do this for life. When you join us, you become part of a movement to help physician moms create ethical careers all over the globe, to be able to be better doctors and better moms, to make our workplaces safe. And we do that together. We are the only physician coaching community dedicated to helping physician moms create safety at the workplace, becoming exceptional doctors and exceptional moms by cutting back to part-time hours. We've been doing this since January 2021. It's all we do. It's our 100% of our focus. We do this every day. There's no other place you'll get this from. So here it is. I'm going to give you the link to join in a moment. So you have your brand new 5-module curriculum, weekly live group coaching for life, 360 support on anything, 15 plus guest expert sessions, book clubs, content vault, private podcasts, coaching basics, and community. Being part of a movement, and you can join us right now. Our doors are open twice this year. This is the last time to join for 2024. So you can put your phone on that QR code and it will take you to enroll right now. You can also have your boss pay. So maybe the investment is a one-time payment of $2,500, or you can break it up over 3 months. I encourage, as a negotiation coach, have your boss pay. So that's what I encourage. So you go to the website, there's a link to download. You can copy and paste, email it to your boss and have them pay for it. Our doors will close for the last time this year, October 15th, midnight Eastern time. You can also type it in if you like, but if you're going to type in the URL, you have to type in the https:// You have to have the whole thing in there in order for it to go there. As you're thinking about it, I'll show you this QR code in a moment. I want to let you know we're doing a 48-hour, never before triple bonus for the first 10 people who enroll. So this is not limitless. This is the first 10 people who enroll will get this bonus. And the first thing you'll get is a private 45-minute exit strategy. We're going to customize all of this to your exact job, your exact daycare routine. This is something I get emails all the time. Can I just purchase a one-on-one call? I don't sell them outside of my private clients. It used to be $500. You get it for free when you enroll. And we're going to customize it to your life. So on that call, we're going to find out, and it's me, it's not somebody I hired. I will do this with you. We're going to just partner together and figure out what are your stress points at your exact job, in your marriage, with your kids. And let's evaluate the obstacles and develop a plan that's uniquely yours. It will look like no one else's. It's a very private space to answer all your questions. We'll develop customized tools and frameworks just for you to make your job safe right now. You'll know exactly what you need to make your job safe. This is only live for 48 hours, so it will go away Thursday, October 3rd, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, or when all 10 spots are taken. All 10 spots always go, so if you're thinking about it, I would get it now. With this bonus, you're also going to set yourself up to get results now. I have a call opening later today, in a couple hours. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I have an interview tomorrow, book that 4:00 call, or it's 4:00, I think it's 4:00 my time, and we can work through this together. But you'll be able to get results even for our first group call, and it's just very customized to you. I've been in programs also where I was one of tens of thousands of people and I never met the coach, which is not necessarily a problem, but I did feel a little lost and disjointed, and it's easy to feel a little bit forgotten. And so with this bonus, you're going to meet directly with me, and you're going to get the ultimate in being seen and cared for and customized success. So much fun. It's one of your triple bonus for the first 10 people who enroll. Your second a part of the bonus is I'm going to do a pop-up training on how not to let work email derail your day. And you'll be able to come to that. You'll hear the 10 best strategies, how to drop hours of your day rethinking how you're approaching work email. This pop-up training alone, it will save you years of your life, I promise. And then the last part of your triple bonus is you'll get VIP access to my personalized somatic healer, Emily Robinson. She is going to come and do a group call, and she's going to do readings for people who are interested. Somatic healing, what it is this is how I describe it. Have you ever had an experience where like, logically, I get it. Logically, I get my job is safe, but your body doesn't feel safe. Your body's still like on edge, like, oh, something could happen at any moment. What you need both the cognitive coaching to help settle your mind, but you also need something to settle your body. And that's what somatic healing is. It just settles your nervous system. It settles your body. It helps you feel safe in your body. And when you feel safe in your body, you can take it anywhere with you. She is my personalized somatic healer. She's going to come in and I hired her. I'll give you an example. I dropped my daughter off to college and we were very close. She's my firstborn. And I'll tell you this, I'm not embarrassed to say, emotional. I was just like one big teardrop for that months leading up, but especially like when we were in California and we were moving them into the dorm. I was having so many intense emotions. My brain could logically get it. This is the right stage. She made the right choice. We're very proud of them, but my body was not on board. So I booked a session with Emily the day after I moved Maddie into college, and I felt such deep grounding. I didn't cry for 24 hours. My husband's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yes, I am." I had that energy cleared. So Emily's going to be doing a group call for us, and you'll get VIP access, which means we're going to go in an order of people who enroll. We'll get to talk with her. We're probably not going to have time on a 1 hour call to help 10 people have individual sessions. It probably will be 3 or 4, I imagine. So the sooner you enroll, the sooner you get VIP access, the sooner you can talk to Emily. Spots are limited, so you're definitely not going to wait on this. All of our bonuses, every time we offer a bonus, it sells out. There are 10 spots. Do not wait on this. If you're interested, sign up now, right away. So this is how you guarantee results. The results you want: to work part-time hours, to work less, to enjoy your job, to be an exceptional doctor or mom, is you come into a community with an expert in proven processes. You set yourself up with people who are doing this work and who are getting these results. That's how you get these results fast. It's how you guarantee results for you. And as soon as you join, you're going to get access to everything. So there's no wandering. There's no hoping things get better. There's no praying for another boss to be better than this one. No more letting years and years go by. You just things start getting better right away. You get safety in the workplace today. You try one thing, you'll be home sooner today. You'll enjoy your job a little more today. And we join right now. The first 10 people are going to get that triple bonus. It is not a coaching program. We are not a Zoom room. We are part of a movement. And when you join us, you become part of the movement to make the world a safer place, to help other physician moms, help yourself create job safety where you get to be an exceptional doctor and an exceptional mom through reclaiming your time by cutting back to part-time hours of your full-time job. Being part of this movement, being surrounded by other physician moms doing this, will create safety in your body, safety in your mind, safety in your home, safety in your job. And then you'll be able to bring that safety all across your life, to the in-laws, to that PTA meeting, to the Brownie Club meeting. You'll be able to take this with you wherever you go. So it's a skill. Once you have it for life, and you take it everywhere. I'll say this, now I feel like I'm kind of more of a senior mom because my kids are heading off to college. I taught my kids these skills as soon as I was learning them, and their whole life will be different from it. I remember as a child feeling like very body conscious, and my kids don't how I've taught them how to create safety. They have less of the head drama and pain I had as a teenager because they know how to resource themselves. They know how to make themselves safe. They know how to surround them with people who feel safe to them and create that safety for themselves. Totally life-changing, if that alone. So here it is. Join us right now for the 40-hour triple bonus. It's available at this QR code, and the triple bonus will end when all 10 spots are gone, or by Thursday, October 3rd, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, or when they're all gone. So if you want it, I would join right now. Best time to join. The doors will close to our program October 15th, midnight Eastern Time. They will open again in 2025. So why not get support for the rest of the year, ending your year, having your goals done, setting yourself up for a beautiful 2025, having support throughout the holidays. Work gets crazy around the holidays, right? Everyone's trying to take vacation off. Everyone's super stressed out. Have support through all of it. Set yourself up for a great year. I'm going to go ahead and go to the Q&A now. So this is the time. If you have questions, put them into the Q&A box. I'm going to open up my Q&A box and we will go through the questions. So type. This is a chance. I'll stay on as long as there are questions as soon as I find my Q&A box. Do you all see a Q&A box? Sometimes it takes me a minute to find it. You do see a Q&A box. Okay. Drop something in the Q&A box. I'm going to also adjust. I'm going to bring down this so I can sit down for a second. Drop your Q&As and we'll do all the questions until we have no more questions. I want you to leave here feeling like you have the tools, you have the safe method, you have a way to get back to part-time hours, and also you have all your questions answered, that you know how to do this at your center. Whatever are the obstacles you sense, if you want to share them here, I can help strategize here. It's going to be off camera, so it's only going to be through the Q&A box, so feel free to put in your questions while you're eating lunch or while you're running around clinic or whatever. You won't be on screen. You can even send it anonymously. Give me 1 second. I'm going to lower my screen while you guys type in, and I'm going to try to find this Q&A box. But maybe if you type something in, the Q&A box will pop up. So let's try this. Okay. All right. Keep typing in your questions. Just looking for this Q&A box. Oh, strange. Oh, here it is. Okay, I'm going to answer questions until they're done. So put them in. You ready? All right, so first question is from Beth. What can I ask questions about? Beth, you can ask questions about anything. You can ask questions about what I just covered, or if I didn't cover, what you were interested in, you can ask questions about that. Or if you want to talk about your exact marriage, your exact job, you can questions about that. So just enter it in the Q&A and we'll go from there. Just need to freshen up my lips. All that talking got my lips looking tired. Okay, let's see what else. When is the book club? So when you join, all those book clubs I showed you are available immediately. You can go in and you can just listen to it on your way home today. If you want to hear about Atomic Habits, a 15-minute summary of Atomic Habits, you can go in there and do that right now. So they're all available right now. Oh, this is awesome. Nicole, you are in this program. You are in Next Level Freedom. This is so good. So for my friends, what I want to let you know is those of you in my lifetime group coaching program, we just rebranded it to have Next Level Freedom. So you're already in it. And for those of you who aren't in it, that you're hearing current clients already in a lifetime program would buy it again, buy 2 lifetime programs for 1 life. It just tells you how good this program is. Please join us. You will not regret it. We're having so much fun in there. So yes, Nicole, you are in it. We love having you in it. And I'm so glad you're here on the call today. And Nicole, let me know. If I didn't answer your question, let me know. But I have several cues from current clients. I'm like, oh my God, this sounds amazing. I'm in. You're in it already. Amazing. And also, if you have friends, for those of you who are here who are current clients who love this, share it with your friends. Yes. Nicole says she totally gets it and she is in it and she loves it. Yes. Thank you, Nicole. I appreciate that. Anya, good to hear from you. Thank you so much for your compliment in the note. Carrie, I want to take more time away from the practice and the business. How can I leave early, not come on Friday, and still be a good example and leader for my staff? Oh, such a good question there. So, what I would ask you, and Carrie, feel free to write in the note if you want to, is it sounds like the thought is I have to be here to be a good example of a leader. And that's a really interesting. I would ask you, what if that's not true? What if you get to role model for them that you're going to work the hours that make sense to you and that you can build a practice where you're a good leader who doesn't work 5 days a week or 6 days a week or whatever the situation is. And what if we unlink? It sounds like your brain is linking working certain number of hours equals a good leader. And I think that's going to tie you to your practice and it's going to become an obstacle. You won't be able to get the result you want, which is to work less. So we want to detach those things. How could you be a good leader by working the hours that make sense to you? What would get in the way of that? Okay, another question is it is residency application week. I have no admin time. So I'm doing it after hours, or do I get insanely behind? Okay, so this is a good question too. I think some advice I would have here, because there are weeks where you're going to be on call in the ICU, or you're going to be doing resident education stuff. So there are going to be stress point weeks. And in our program, what we would do is we would say, okay, even in these stress point weeks, how can we make it? How can we solve for it? So that might be having a conversation, a negotiations, and this is what's coming to me, but you tell me, is where I could see is I think of it as an equation. We have time for the job, we have time for the residency education, time for us equals all our time we have available. Like it's just a math equation and we get to play around with variables. So your option is like, I'll just get insanely behind. No way. I would say definitely not. I would not advise that because that just makes the job more unsafe for you. So here's what I would do is I would say, how could we either have conversations or negotiations to make the job easier? Like, could we negotiate out of certain parts of the service? Could we kind of trade in the residency part for this? Or how could we make, if we can't, and through negotiations and decision making, I think I would at least try that. But if not, if the answer is no, how do we make the work part simpler? Could we trade in some of the service for service time? If not, and I would just explore that. And here's what I would do for you, for anyone. What happens is we tend to say, no, none of this is possible, and we just take off the table any potential difference. And also what happens when we do that is we make our time the solution for everything. And so remember that overworking cycle is any problem is solved in our time, which makes our job dangerous. So this is what I do for my clients. And I just did this week for a senior leader who was like, well, if this doesn't get done, I'm going to have to do it. I'm like, really? What if we took off the table that you have to take on 20 extra hours of work this week? How else would you do it? And let your brain go ahead and go through it. Doesn't, and your brain is going to be like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. I'd say, do not let that happen. Don't let the negative thinking overtake possibilities. But if I couldn't solve it on my time, how else would I solve it? Another way to come at it is how would Ken do it? How would the older white man in the group, just to say those guys, right? How would that person do it? Like, what is Ken thinking that I'm not? And why I bring this up with some levity is that we as physician moms are conditioned to make everyone happy, to take up very little space, of being quiet and not upsetting people. We have conditioned from society and our groups sometimes say very directly, we need to be smaller, we need to be tinier. And sometimes it's useful just to think, what would Ken do? If Ken wouldn't work 20 plus hours, how would Ken get it done? What if that's available for me too? On your own, admittedly, that might be hard because it has you go against conditioning, and that's why we would work together in my program. So those are the options that I would think of. Also, for this particular question, what I want to say is we look at their stress points. So the weeks I was on call, those were going to be heavy weeks. And I kind of went into it knowing I'm going to hate part of this week and let myself hate it. And yes, I'm going to work more hours this week. I get it, which means I'm going to try to make this week easier. And also, outside of this week, I'm going to do everything I can to get my time back for me. So, for many of my physician leaders, like the person who's writing in, when they have 5 days of like, it's kind of grueling because it's a crunch residency program, what we do together often is I'll say, okay, find 5 other days of this year where you can get that time back. Let's go ahead and make an amazing vacation for you. Right after this thing, let's go have an amazing 5 days at the beach or amazing 5 days in Maine. And And how can we, outside of this crunch period where there might be the variables may be a little more fixed, which I never think they're totally fixed, but they may be a little more fixed. How can we recruit this time from other parts of your job? Which we just get vigilant on what can we cut out? Are you also in charge of birthday parties for your staff? Let's get that off the list. I promise you, when we come together and we audit this, um, and Nicole, we can do this together on your next call, is you will find your schedule is flooded with things you don't have to do, and we just so very gently pick them off and take them away so that we can support you on these high crunch periods. What do you think about that? Mm. Anya, may I just send you a bunch of hugs and kisses right now? You're saying something I meant to say, but I forgot. So Anya is a current client, actually one of my very first, right? I think Anya and I have been together for years. And I'll say, it's not just because it's lifetime, but most clients, once they join, we become friends for life. It is a lifelong thing. It's not just because it's a lifelong program, but we just have such like deep anchoring to each other, which is such a beautiful thing. You aren't taught how to create safety. No one is, especially women. We are not taught how to create safety. The only way you can create safety, and there's so much science behind this. I do a lot, and I'll say, how do I know? I do a lot of training with therapists and mental health experts. I'm in a year-long, I got coach certified as a coach, then an expert level coach, then trauma informed training. And now I'm in a year-long program with therapists learning trauma informed techniques, which I think if you have a coach, you have to have someone who has a trauma informed background because medicine is trauma inducing. No matter what part you're in, you have been traumatized by your job. I promise you, you need a coach who knows how to tenderly handle that trauma to heal from it. And I totally forgot what I was going to say with that. Maybe it'll come back to me. But let me give a second. Oh, here's what I was going to say. Don't you love it when your brain gives you back something you just forgot? I love it. I love it. Is you were not taught how to create safety. So I don't want you to leave this training being like, oh gosh, I should have learned this. There's no way you could have learned it unless you have been in my program before. But how you learn safety is you have a safe, trusted other teach you what it feels like to be safe in your body. And once you learn it, you have it for the rest of your life. You will always be able to create safety. And then you will teach your children how to create safety, and they will go on to change the world. That's exactly how it works. When a physician mom learns how to create safety, the whole world gets safer. So you are not wrong to know how to not do it at all. In my community, that's the role of being here. You're going to learn how to build safety. And Anya shared something really amazing is she said, by the way, this group, while it's focused on physician moms, it's 200% relevant for non-moms too. I've been a part of the Lifetime Group for several years, started from the very beginning. Anya is an OG. The resources available outside of group coaching are also phenomenal. Thank you, Anya. That's so very precious of you. And I do want to emphasize, this is something that comes up. I am a physician mom, so I draw on my own experiences and my own pain points. And it's tied up with being a mom as part of my identity. But if you resonate with anything I've said and you're not a physician and you're not a mom, join us. The point is like, if you resonate with this messaging, join us. If you don't mind all my analogies with being a mom, just because I draw on my own life, I share from my own diary. But we for sure have people in our program who are not moms and they are not less than. They've made choices that we love and celebrate. We love and celebrate. So if you resonate with the message, you are welcome here. Anya is an example of that. And she has said you are welcome here and that the resources outside of coaching are fire. They are so good. You won't find them anywhere else. I wish we could give them to everyone who graduates medical school. I really think that would heal medicine far faster than Friday pizza and yoga with the boss. Far, far faster. What else? I have like three or four more questions. All right, where I have three more four questions in the box. If you have something, put it in. This is the perfect time to ask. Someone asked, can we ask about marriages or something that's off topic from coaching? 100%. You can ask whatever you want. And also, you can send it anonymously, so you can keep it 100% anonymous. And also, I think coaching is for everything. And so here's in our group, we have talked about most people come in, they want to talk about their job. And in about 3 calls, we solve their job. And then they're like, let me tell you about my mama. Let me tell you about my husband. We love husbands in my group, though. You'll never find me trashing anyone, not your boss, not your husband, not your kids, no one. Um, but yes, how I think of it is you are a whole and complete human. You are more than a doctor. And so anything that's on your heart, we want to hear about and we want to help you with. There's nothing you can't bring unless you don't want to share it, which we would never ask you to share anything. We're very much about consent around here. So if you want to share something, if there's something you're struggling with, if there's something we can help you with, please, you can talk about all of it. Part of feeling safety is knowing that you get to have the help you want when you want it. So I let my clients know nothing is off the table unless you don't want to talk about it. I am here for all of it. I can help you on any of it. If it bothers you, it's important. I think it's very common in coaching when someone's new to be like, this is dumb. I should know how to handle it. This shouldn't be a problem. I should be able to figure it out. With so much love, this is my philosophy. The brain that created the problem cannot solve the problem. Doesn't mean it's because your brain is wrong. It's because every human needs somebody else who can help them see what's going on and offer them perspective, offer them solutions that can give them permission. I just last week I had a client reach out. She's a single mom, and she's like, Christina, these kids, they have soccer this day, they have karate this day. I'm a single mom. My partners are all going on vacation. I'm the only one. How the heck am I going to make it to this volleyball? How am I going to help to this volleyball practice on Tuesday? And she's like, it's just driving me nuts. I can't do it. And I said to her, what if you don't? What if you don't have to? What is it? What comes up for you? What if they can just skip one, or you can have a car service pick them up, or you can carpool with another mom and pay her back some other time, or we put them on a city bus? What if you this week, where the world feels like it's on fire on your shoulders because everyone's out of town and you're manning everything on your own and on call, and ex-husband is across the country, what if we just give you permission not to do it? She's like, oh my gosh, yes. She worked with another mom. The another mom picked the kids up, and then she returned the favor the next week. Sometimes our brain on its own, it will fuel that overworking cycle. It will say, I have to do all the things all the time, or else I'll be a bad person. We need someone who can interrupt that overworking cycle to say, wait a minute, actually, no, you didn't have to. And if you really want the kids to go, let's find 10 different ways to get the kids there. How do we make this week that's so rigid and firm? How do we make it a little softer for you? It's the importance of being in community. You need someone who can help see your brain. Okay, Carrie, I want you to know how much you speak to my heart. I'm so glad. Thank you for saying that, Carrie. Thank you for saying that. I'm sure you speak to other people's hearts too, and you're making the world a better place. Thank you. Thank you, Carrie. I appreciate that. I am definitely, everything I'm sharing is from my experience, like the heartbreak that I've had, the trauma I've had, how I recover from it. So I'm glad it feels authentic to you. And a lot of also what I'm sharing is learning from you and others of how do we help other physician moms heal their hearts? How can we give them permission? How can we make their jobs safer? So you are very much a part of the movement, and all your vulnerability you shared with us, and all the wisdom you've brought to the group, and all that you've shared with us to help us make this place safe and open for everyone who's in it. Thank you, Carrie. I have little tears in my eyes. I love that. Okay, Nicole says, I personally can't trade services, but can let some cases sit. I just feel bad for the patients. I guess so if we definitely can't trade services, no problem. We'll just take that off. But could let some cases sit, but you would feel bad. Feel bad why? Feel bad why? What's going to happen if the person gets a diagnosis 5 days later? I think it's really interesting because as a patient, I'll tell you this. I've been on the other end of the microscope, like as the patient who's waiting for a diagnosis. My thought is take all the time you need. I want the right diagnosis. Do the stains, do the levels. Please do not look at it on tired eyes. I want the best report. That's what I'm thinking as a patient. So what if you and your patient are more on the same page than you think? You both just want to give exceptional care, and 5 days has nothing to do with exceptional care. Something else that I did when I was on these kinds of weeks where I was like, I felt up against a wall to put out a report, even though I didn't feel right about it. I wanted to show it. I wanted to do stands. I wanted to send it out. I wanted to get ancillary studies. And I was feeling a lot of pressure internally. By the way, the tool I would give for you, Nicole, is the A tool, approved. Like I want to take the 3 days extra it's going to take to make this report accurate and of best service for the patient, approved. Like I would practice that element of internalizing being the boss you want to be. Hear me. I'm not saying internalize your boss's language, not at all. Internalize the boss you want to be to yourself. Because really, what is 3, 5, 7 days to get the right diagnosis? Everything. That's my thought about it. But you tell me, what makes it hard? What do you think about that? I feel guilty about the patient care or that I'm not resting in the evening like I'm trying to do. Yeah. So, about feeling guilty about the patient care, what I'm gathering from what you're saying is that you have a rule that cases should be out as soon as possible for best patient care. And if we were together, I'd say, where did you get that from? Because I'm in the same field as you, I know exactly where you got that from. Right? From medicine, from your boss, from the turnaround time stuff. And here's the important distinction. What has been handed to you as facts that faster cases are better, you do not have to take as facts. And you might actually, I would suggest, consider revising those rules for yourself. That in fact, the speed of which a case comes out has nothing to do with the quality of the report. That what serves the patient best is the highest quality report. It's sort of like this. I've had surgeries before. I don't want Friday afternoon, 4 p.m. surgeon. I want Monday morning, 8 a.m. I want the surgeon who's had hopefully, I just assume that surgeon has had rest. I want that because I know that person will be able to think faster, will be anticipate problems faster, will give the best quality report. Similarly, in terms of like, think of an airplane pilot. Do we want the airplane pilot who's push, 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 push and exhausted, or we want the one who's rested? I want the new plane and the rested airplane pilot. That is the definition of best care. So I think that might be the piece that alleviates you of the guilt is that this person, when I give the case the time it deserves, they get the best quality care. And we know all of the patient care will come back to the pathology report. We want that piece to be our best version of us. And if that takes 5 days instead of 2 days, it's worth the wait. So you want to practice telling yourself that and feel that safety in your body. It is worth the wait. The other thing I love to do is notice, Nicole, for you, and I find this with a lot of physicians as well, is where we have a stress point is where we attach to a timeline, where we tell ourselves 2 days is great, 5 days I'm terrible. Is really kind of the messaging that comes through. And we use it for promotion. We use it for patient turnaround time, for open charts. Anytime your value is attached to a number, your brain will always be using it against you to make you feel terrible. And when you feel terrible, the work will just grind to a halt. And so work I would suggest here, or something to offer for you, is what if you could completely detach your value and the value of the report from the number of days it takes? And instead, the focus is on, I'm going to provide the best quality report no matter how long it takes. Whatever time it takes is the exact time I need for this to be a quality report. And we just start practicing the exercise of delinking the days it takes to write a report from the value. Here's something that might help you. If you think of the arc of a person's life, let's say it's 78 years, waiting 3 extra days, no problem. If those 3 extra days means I get the right chemotherapy, I get the right surgery, I get the right diagnosis, please take 3 extra days. It's such a small ask. We have to delink that more time is valuable, because when we make more time equals better value, what happens is your brain will overwork in all the ways. It will think more time is valuable. And what we're learning here is the higher value will come from doing the work with less sacrifice to who you are as a human. From delinking your value as a human to the work that you're doing. It has nothing to do with time. It takes as long as it takes. Just check how that feels in your body. This report takes as long as it takes. Something else I'll do, just like as an action line thing, this is more as a friend, a colleague, is I would tell, like, if I was having a USCAP week, we had like lots of deadlines and a book deadline and traveling, I would reach out on the complicated cases and I say, listen, I got to let you know, your case is a top priority for me, and I don't want to rush it. I don't want to make any mistakes. And so I want to let you know we have a lot of it. The lab is backed up, or we have pressing deadlines, and your case is a priority. It will be a few days later than usual, but know we're on it. If anything comes up, give me a call. Most of the time, the clinicians are like, fine, we're not even see this person for 2 weeks, or totally get it. We'll just reschedule them. But that also can help. What do you think about that? We have a comment about I'm having trouble resting in the evening like I'm trying to do. I think where I would go with that, and you fill me in, I'm going to just take some guesses since this is written coaching, is that there's a little bit of I should be able to rest. There's a little bit of should expectations come through. I should be able to rest. I'm not, so I'm feeling terrible about that. And I think that what might help you most is to focus on why you're not able to rest. What I find helps all the people I work with is reassure your brain. So if your brain, for example, is like, I can't rest right now because I'm feeling really guilty about the patient care, we reassure your brain, hey, listen, best patient care comes when we give it the time this case needs. That's best patient care. It's at reassuring yourself, that internalizing that A step for the SAFE method of internalizing that safety. This is best patient care. That will alleviate the guilt, and then you'll be able to rest. So I would solve it at that level. Also, I mean, just to say, the speed it takes to solve a case has nothing to do with the quality of case. I'll tell you, the people I have found, and of course, not going to name names, who are the most dangerous practitioners are really, really fast. I I can think of one person clearly who just made mistake after mistake after mistake, huge mistakes. I won't go into the nature of the mistakes, but huge, horrible mistakes. He was really fast though. And I think the mistakes were because he was so fast, because he didn't want to show anybody. He didn't want to do a stain. He didn't want to wait for the molecular to come back. He didn't want to send a case out. There was a lot of ego issue in there. And so we have to delink that the time it takes to see a patient or write a note has nothing to do with the quality of care. How does that feel? We have to create safety for myself. Okay. Yes. My friend who wrote, I want to make an appointment and keep it, you do that. We have appointments. And that's the great thing about Lifetime is that we're here for you forever. And the other thing is our group coaching for all of you in here who are like, ooh, I want weekly support. We have weekly support forever, right? We have weekly support forever. Yes, we're here for you forever. Which brings the point, like my favorite thing about Lifetime is that there is no rush to do this. I have joined programs who were like $25,000 programs, and I felt in tremendous pressure to do everything quickly, which created so much more stress. We don't want that for you here. Here we teach you how to have safety all over your life, which means no rushing, no urgency. Also, why is our physician coaching program $2,500 for life and most physician programs are $25,000, $60,000 per year? Is I don't want you to have stress about money or have stress about I have to better do this all really soon. I don't want you traumatized by your coaching. Absolutely not. It doesn't make any sense. And also, I am on a mission. My purpose on the planet is to heal physician moms, families, because I know physician moms are the leaders of our communities. They're leaders of our families, our organizations, our churches, our communities, our neighborhoods. You heal one physician mom, you heal a part of the world. And so I don't want price to ever be an objection for you. And that's why we have it at this rate. And yes, there's a lot here in this program. And you don't have to do it all now. You get to like come back. Like maybe you want to do your book clubs in 10 years, right? Maybe right now while you have tiny kids, you have no time, not even 15 minutes to listen to a book, but you're like, in 15 years, I might be interested in books. Hey, skip the book clubs. You never have to do them. They're there for life. Doesn't that create safety in your body? I don't have to do it all at once. I get to do it at whatever pace I want to. I get to pick and choose what I want. Why we do it this way is because when you learn the skill of safety, of getting to pick and choose, of not having to do it all at once, that you are the boss, this language carries over to your job. And then at your job, you're like, oh, maybe I don't have to go to all these meetings. Maybe I get to pick and choose what meetings I go to. Maybe I get to pick and choose which cases I sign out in what order. Maybe I get to pick and choose which notes I sign out and what order. It gives you so much freedom to be the doctor you want to be. And when you are, you're going to be able to come home and rest. Right. Tell me all your questions. We have plenty of time. I want you to leave with all of your questions answered. Okay. All right. The oh, all right. The triple bonus is for the people who are joining right now. Carrie, I think you have one-on-ones you can still use. But the triple bonuses are for people who are enrolling right now. So if you wanted the triple bonus, you could purchase another $2,500 or if you wanted to, but the triple bonus is for people who make this purchase now, the first 10 people who join. And Carrie, email me. I believe you do have one-on-ones we can still use. And Anna Satini said, "Oh, perfect. That's exactly what I needed to hear. Fantastic." A day, Nana Satini said, "I love that. A day or two won't matter. Thank you. I really needed to hear that." Right? So this is the power of coaching. By the way, Anonymous Attendee is not the person who sent me that question, but notice how when you come to a group coaching community, you are going to receive all the coaching meant for you, even if you never raise your hand, even if you're anonymous. You heard Nicole's coaching and coaching about the guilt over the time, and it was actually meant for you too. You will have so much healing of things you don't even know are causing you pain in your heart when you come to a group call, even if you never raise your hand, even if you never come on camera. Plus, you can watch the replays. So if you're like, I need to be super private, I don't want anyone to see my face. We have some people who come on for coaching who always have their camera off and change their name. Not a problem. And we can chat that way on the group calls. You also, like you have now with Anonymous Attendee or group calls, you can submit in the Q&A box anonymously, and I can coach you there for sure. And some people just like, yeah, I think this is interesting. I think what you're sharing, Anonymous Attendee, that kind of comes to me is that we have to be present at all the things to get all the things, not at all. And it's very similar to I have to get this case signed out in 2 days or I'm not a good doctor. It's very similar. So what you learn in this program is you get to just pick and choose how you use your time, knowing that you are a whole, complete, perfect human just as you are. Whether you go to all the calls or you go to one a year or you never go to the calls. We have clients who do amazing things who never come to the group call. They just use their bonus section. That bonus call to customize all this to you is like worth $2,500 all to themselves. And they create amazing results, 6-figure raises with that. We have clients who like to do all the things and they also have amazing results. So the point is how much time you put in the program has nothing to do with the quality of your result. And that's the thing we have to break up. When we think that time equals greater value, it drives that overworking cycle. I have to put more and more time. I have to solve everything on my time. Absolutely not. We interrupt that in our program of Next Level Freedom. All right. So what I want to say, keep entering questions. We still have quite a few here and I'm up for all of them. But I just want to recap for the people who joined us a little later is that when you join Next Level Freedom, it is my signature lifetime group coaching program. You are going to you're going to get a brand new 5-module curriculum, which we just issued just for you. It's amazing. It takes you through all the things you need to exactly cut back to part-time hours and have you enjoy your job and be the mom you want to be. Weekly live group coaching for life, 360 support. We cover everything. We cover business, parenting, bosses, money, savings, retirement. We have over 15 guest expert sessions and we keep adding to them. We have book clubs that are geared for the physician mom experience, and you're not expected to read anything. We summarize it for you. We have a content vault that's full of short mini modules that are available right now if you want to go in and learn about time management, for example. We have a private podcast where you can hear all the trainings on the go. And there's power behind that because if everything you're listening to is what the noise at work, the chatter at work of this is a terrible job, be faster, sacrifice more, be a team player, it's going to erode your spirit as a human. How you compensate for that is surround yourself with positive messaging, with people who believe in your infinite potential and possibilities, and who will work with you to make your job a better fit. Surround yourself just with a positive messaging. If you just listen to the private podcast, you will feel better. I promise you. Coaching basics, you'll learn how to coach around my group, and you could even leverage that for less time on service and more money, or maybe you just want to coach yourself or your family. Amazing. Community, be part of a movement. And the first 10 people who join will get the 48-hour triple bonus, which is a private one-on-one session with me where we're going to customize all this to your life. It is coming to our email pop-up workshop about how to not let work email derail your day. And it includes VIP access to my energy clearer who's coming in November. And you get first chance to work with her. We're going to go in order of people who sign up. So the sooner you sign up, the more likely you are to get a special experience with her. The 48-hour bonus, triple bonus, is live until 10 people sign up and then it goes away. The doors are open through Tuesday, October 15th, midnight. It's the last chance to join our program. I say, if you're going to join, you might as well get all these bonuses, right? Right? Whether you use it or not. I mean, at least get some stuff. That's what I say all the time. Okay. Oh, Carrie said, your surgeon wants to be the one on Monday morning too, right? Right. And what we're working on here is like for you, because we do have surgeons in the program, is like, how can we build more rest? So that for you as a surgeon, you can feel rested on Thursday afternoons as well. Like, how can we create this job to have offer rest outside of the weekends and evening hours, outside of Friday? Like, how can we depressurize the rest Monday through Thursday? Thank you, Carrie, for saying that. It's so good. I need to give the applicants my best self too, not my tired end of the day, just get through them now review. You know what I would add on to that is because I see this so many times, as physician moms, we go to work, we give our best part of us to the job. And we come home, it's like crumbs for ourselves and our family. So I think the priority issue in our program is how do we help you give the best of you to you? How do we make sure that by the end of the day, you don't just have crumbs of your energy? How do we make sure that you feel nourished and supported and cared for by you? So you're not just getting the crumbs of your life. We want way more than that. We want you to feel like you had the best care for you. Thank you for saying that. So good. So that is, by the way, Nicole, what you just did there is you just did the A in the SAFE method, is you just gave yourself permission. You just said approved, approved. I want to do the best at this and the best at that. And if that takes a couple more days, approved, right? Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. A novice attendee said, I feel that as well. I can't rest. I can't get my mind to stop. Like I need to do something productive or cross off my to-do list. Yeah. So that is the definition of the overworking cycle. Is we don't feel safe, so we for sure cannot rest. So we always have to do. But what you'll want to see, what we'll teach you in the program, and we'll do this together, because on your own, I don't think it is possible to escape the overworking cycle on your own. Your brain is just every human brain is really addicted to working, especially if you're a physician. I mean, it's what got you here is working very hard. So I don't think it's possible to escape the cycle without someone else's brain to help you, to point it out, to let the transition be gentle. And so I would say for sure you're going to want to join. And we have a module dedicated just to that, how to get your brain to rest. But we can also work on that in our group call or one-on-one or even here if you want to. But when you say I can't get my brain to stop, what's probably happening is your brain feels unsafe. And the only thing, so it's defaulting into what has created safety in the past, which is overworking and getting so busy you're not thinking about it. But it's not actually taking care of the danger. It's making it more dangerous because if you can't ever rest, it's going to put a limit on the quality of work and the quality of your career and how long you're able to do it. It actually makes it more dangerous. So in our program, what we do is we reverse that. We make it safe for you and your job, and then you can rest. We solve for all the danger cues in your job so that you can rest. And what you'll notice as soon as you start resting, you're going to see yourself being a better doctor. You're going to feel better in your job. Safety is what drives letting your brain rest. Your brain will not rest when it thinks life is dangerous. So that's what we solve for in my program is we solve for the danger cues in your life. And if you were here, and we can do this a little bit if you want, or join and we'll do this together. It's so much easier when you have someone else's brain is I would ask you, like, what is your brain saying on those moments when you're trying to rest and it won't let you rest? Solve for that. For most people, let's see what you're saying. I need to do something productive is one of the things you're saying. So what your brain has a rule for is that productivity only comes through action. And what I would offer you is rest. That's actually the name of module 5. Rest is the ultimate productivity hack. That being restful is very productive. We would show you how to put those two things together, that rest is productive. And how do we know is when you're rested, your brain is going to feel at a much higher level. It is going to solve problems at a much better, a much higher, faster level, that you're going to feel the capacity to stretch and grow. You're going to be able to say yes and feel good about things and say no and feel good about things. You're going to be able to take care of yourself. Rest is very productive. And so that's what you would learn in our program, is how to de-link time equals and action equals productivity. Because as long as that's the case, you will always have to work an effort to feel safe. And that's just not true at all. It makes your life more dangerous. We want to de-link those two things. Rest makes your life safe. When you feel rested, that's when you'll feel safe. There is science behind this. The human brain is naturally a bit paranoid. And when you start taking away sleep, it gets even more scared and paranoid. That's what all human brains do. And so the idea of not resting being this thing that keeps you safe, it doesn't at all. It makes it so much more dangerous for you. So we would have to do rest. And we would teach you to do it. And it is a process. So it's something you want to do with someone else on your own. I think it'll be very hard. So join us, and we'll help you rest more. We have a whole module dedicated to it. And then we can help you individualize on that one-on-one. You mentioned something else. Or someone mentioned this. I have to cross something off my to-do list. So we actually just had someone share this the other day. She's like, I have to cross things off my to-do list. So I have to always be doing. And so what we came up with for her is, let's put on the list resting. The only reason you get to cross it off is if you spend the evening not doing work email. And she was like, oh, done. And so that's how she exited the cycle. And she put on her to-do list, no charts tonight, or no, you get to put on whatever that is. And when you do that, then you can cross it off. So you can work with you. What we do is we like to work with you to create frameworks for you. So if your brain is very attached to a to-do list, we just put on the to-do list, not working in the evening. And you get to check that off. Now, if you happen to, and I would suggest doing this in stages. So maybe you're not going to take all evening off at first, but maybe you'll say, I'm going to give myself 1 hour before bed to not work. So I can cross it off and I can start showing my brain safety. And then as you feel safe there, then you can make it 1.5 hours and then 2 hours and 3 hours. And then you'll say, I'm going to take Wednesday evenings off and Friday evenings off. And we just kind of stretch and grow that at your capacity until you're not working nights and weekends anymore. In my program, how we keep you safe is we go at the pace of your nervous system. We go at the pace of what feels safe to you. If we were to say you need to stop working nights and weekends right now, that would be dangerous. It would be so scary and stressful for you. So we never do it that way. We say instead, go home 10 minutes early. That's it. Give yourself 1 hour before bed not to work, and then you can check it off. And then slowly over time, you'll build up your capacity, and then you won't need a to-do list. Our to-do list tracker sounds like it's made for you, by the way. And in my program, we can help you transition over to that. I think the other thing is I'm seeing here, I feel accomplished when I check off my to-do list. You feel accomplished to check off your to-do list only because you said accomplishment means getting things done. And what might be helpful for you is accomplishment can mean carving out time to rest, to recover. I have seen this time and time again. When a physician mom gives herself time to rest, she produces better value, not less. That the way we do it now, we have to work all the time. We never can rest. That actually produces a fraction of the results you want to see. You deserve all the results you want, right? You deserve all of them. It's going to involve rest. I think also the more tired we get, the more we're like, we have to do. Amazing. All right. What other questions do you have for me? What else do we have? Okay, I can't concentrate at work at all. My kid has food allergies. I'm so worried all day when she's not with me. So I get very behind at work. Right. Yeah, that makes sense. So what we would do here, what we want to offer you here is your kid has a food allergy. What are we exactly worried about? What might happen? I'm guessing you're going to say that she's going to eat something and something's going to go wrong. The best thing to do here, What's happening is your brain is looping on something terrible is going to happen, and it's not offering, it's being very vague. And so, of course, you can't concentrate. So, we would have so much sympathy. As a mom, of course, you would be super, super worried if your kid has a food allergy and there's danger signals all around it. And so, what we want to do, where the normal brain would be like, oh, I don't want to look at it, I don't want to think about it, is in coaching, is we want to like take down the wall. So, what happens if your kid eats something and she has an allergic reaction at school? What really would happen? I'm going to give you a second to type that in. And if you don't want to, I'll answer it. But let's think about that. I'm going to go ahead and say something. But if you type it in, I'll come back to that. Um, if your child eats something they're not supposed to and they have an allergic reaction, someone will get help if they're at school. And if they're not at school, they're with their babysitter, the babysitter will get help. There's not a scenario where the child eats something and there's no help to be seen. So we have to reassure our brain, and it's possible she could eat something at your house. Like she could get into something. It just food allergies are a tricky, tricky thing. It could happen anywhere. Your worrying about it all the time makes sense, but it's also creating some disconnect with you and your job. It's making it impossible to get your job done. So we need to start shutting some of these solutions down. We need to start thinking, okay, if this happens, here's how we handle it. We're going to, and I bet you've already done a lot of this. We're going to instruct and educate the child on how she can handle it. We're going to tell her school. We're going to tell her teacher. We're going to let people know that this is what needs to happen if she eats something she's not supposed to. We're going to make sure that she has epinephrine or whatever. So we have to start answering to the fear. That fear, if it's left all by itself, of course, you're not going to be able to focus and get behind. We want to start by addressing the fear, looking at the fear and saying, and this is what would happen. I imagine that if we asked you, like she really could eat something, it's like something could get into, I mean, I know food allergies, they can sometimes get in the chopstick. She could use her brother's chapstick and her brother ate something and like she gets exposure to it. But at home, it sounds like you don't have this issue at home, probably because you have thoughts like, I am here to take care of it. I know exactly what to do in a food allergy. I've educated her. I've educated the family. We know 911. You have all those thoughts that have you feeling more secure at home, is my imagine just by reading between the lines. You can bring that thinking with you when you go to work as well. They're educated, they're resourced, people are aware of food allergies. If this happens, then we have hospitals that are this close to her. She knows how to have a shot, for example. We start addressing the fear, and that will help you connect. So, what's useful for all of you, whatever the fear is, look, where do you not have fear? Could you borrow that thinking there for the job place? Because when we look at it, like the way it's going now, you're scared, so you're not focused, so you're behind. What that's going to create its own cycle. As you get behind, you're going to get scared. You're going to have less focus. You're going to get more behind. You're going to be even more scared. You're going to be less focused. You're going to be behind, and then you're going to make mistakes, and then you're going to be more scared. So it's creating a cycle that's actually making your life more dangerous for you. So we need to interrupt it. And how we interrupt it is start addressing the fears. All right, beautiful. So, in summary, it looks like we're just about out of questions. There's more. Let me know, or if I answered a question that's not fully clear, the answer is not fully clear, let me know. But in summary, Next Level Freedom, the doors are open right now. They are going to be open until October 15th at midnight Eastern Time. This is the last chance to join us for this year. And the first 10 people who join right now are going to get access to a triple bonus. So that's going to be access to a free one-on-one where we're going to customize all this to you. And you're also going to get a pop-up workshop of how not to let work email derail your day. And also, you're going to get party VIP access to my Energy Clear, our expert guest coach who's coming in November. You'll be able to, we're going to go off order of the people joined. We'll get access to speak with her. And when you join us, you get our brand new curriculum, weekly live group coaching for life, which I think is like the best thing. It's to know you'll have support at every stage of life, for when kid has allergy to when kid grows up to when kid learns how to manage her allergies on her own. For example, you get that 360 support for the parenting, for the spouse, for the mom, for the residency applications, as you saw here today, like for all those parts. You get the book clubs, you get expert guest sessions. So you don't have to go hire someone. I mean, for some people, they're not going to want to hire a sex coach, but we brought in our industry leader and sex coach who comes in and who talks about it. amazing. Then you can just sit and watch it on a replay, right? Or if you want to hire her, you can go hire her. You know exactly who she is. We have the book clubs, the content vault, the private podcast, coaching basics, the community. When you join us, you become part of a movement. We become part of a movement to heal physician moms, help bring safety at work, bring safety in the home. You become part of a movement that makes the planet a safer place. We would love to have you. If you resonate with this message, we would love to have you join us. And you can join us by putting your camera on this QR code, and it'll take you directly to the website. And the first 10 people who sign up are going to get the bonus. A couple other comments just came in. Let me check, and feel free to add anything else. We're just kind of wrapping up. And Angie said, I love the safe method. I've never heard this before. I definitely can use the scheduling hacks, all of them. I am in. Welcome, Angie. We're so excited to have you here, of course. And we'll just keep customizing this to you until we get to the schedule that makes a lot of sense to you. Beth said, I really appreciate the Q&A here and seeing how coaching can be used to help us where we're at, that we don't have to stop working weekends and nights right away. We can do it at our own pace, and we have access for life. I'm in. Fantastic. Well, we'll see you on your calls, and you can book. I think we have even a free call today. So join us. We're so glad to have you here. The group is better because you're here. I'm so glad you're here. Anonymous attendee said, I joined and I booked my one-on-one. I'm so glad I got within the top 10. I can't wait to have this access for life. Welcome, anonymous attendee. And you can stay anonymous the whole way. On our call, we'll talk about how we can make this group safer for you in all the ways. Karen said, I joined years ago and it's the best decision. I feel so good at my job. It didn't take long to see changes. Definitely join. No regrets. Join right away. We also worked on a $40,000 raise together while cutting back all the time, right? Well, listen, we're going to go for a raise. We're not going for little raises. We're going to go for 5 and 6 figure raises, which are going to amount to millions of dollars. And the priority is always keeping you safe, whatever it is. So yes, anonymous attendee, I'm so glad you're here and thank you for sharing that. Definitely. Whether your goal is a raise and you want a physician, what we teach is the only negotiation strategy for physician moms. It works so well. It works on the spirit of creating safety for you and for your coworkers. It works for using our inherent strengths of relationship building. And it works really, really well, especially I think when you're a community and you see examples of other physician moms creating phrases and dropping call and making service schedules that make more sense to them and having meaningful conversations at work and using their voice where they feel like they want to use their voice and also excusing themselves not to go to meetings they don't want to be at, like creating that safety at work. When you see it modeled in others, it becomes possible for you too. Kendra said, I'm in. I'm scheduling my bonus call now. There are a few left. Good job, Kendra. We're so excited. Very, very excited. And I'll see you on your one-on-one call. Beautiful. All right, everybody. We still have a bunch of people here, I have to say. So I just want to check. Any other questions? Anything else that you have in mind? This is the time to ask it. We have a ton of people here still in the room. You can even send it anonymously. Or if I didn't get to the question the way that, if I didn't fully answer it, just put it in again and we will continue discussing. Someone wrote, I have a hard time leaving. The idea of leaving early, I have all my work done by 3 or 4, but I just sit around till 5 until I feel like I can leave. So do you have any advice for this? So this would be anonymous attendee, the A that we talked about in the SAFE method of giving yourself approval of saying, okay, my work is done. Everything's tucked in. I'm ready to go home. It's 3:30. Practice the approval. If we're on a call and you can add this into the Q&A box, the question would be, what's keeping you tethered to work? What's the rule that you have to stay even though all your work is done? I'm guessing there is a little bit of, I need to stay at my desk till 5 p.m. or until my boss leaves, or I need to be here. I need to be at my desk in case there's an emergency, something like that, or I might be missing out. And what I would offer for you is actually this is really common. After decades of training, it's very common to be like, I need to wait. Someone has to give me permission. Really, the answer is you get to internalize the boss you want to be and give yourself permission to leave at 3:30. And then we would want to explores how could leaving at 3:30 actually make you a better doctor? Might want to think about like when you get home and get rested, you're going to enjoy your job so much more. Guess what betting you feel when you're all done with your work at 3:30 and you know your kids are at home by themselves and you're just sitting there waiting for 5. I bet you're going to have more traffic going home at 5. I bet you're resentful, irritated, frustrated. I would be. And so it's like those feelings that we have when we're at work, when we don't need to be at work, those feelings may destabilize our job. They make it more likely that we're going to quit, that we're going to want to leave medicine, that we're going to hate our job when we're there. So instead, what if we could trade in the feeling of resentment, of frustration, and be like, I have my work done at 3:30. I can leave now, approved. If we were here, I would ask you at 5 o'clock, what are you telling yourself where you can leave without guilt? Borrow all that thinking for 3:30. I'm guessing at 5 p.m. you're like, this is the appropriate time to leave. My boss would be okay with me leaving. 5 o'clock is when everyone leaves. You're probably thinking those thoughts. You can actually borrow those thoughts earlier. And what it might sound like is I, as my own boss, my work is all done. Everything is good. If I leave now and have more time to rest, I'll be happier to be here tomorrow. It makes me a better doctor. My boss wants me to be a better doctor. We're on the same page. No getting in trouble here. I've made up a rule that 5 p.m. is the time everyone leaves, but that's not really true because when I'm on call for Christmas, I'm here sometimes at 2 a.m. and I'm taking back some of that time right now. So whatever lets you leave at 5, you can actually borrow for leaving at 3. Also, keep in mind that this period of leaving early, what I want to say is this to this person who says she feels guilty when she leaves early, we need your process that helps you leave without feeling guilty. But what I want to offer you is that notice that, and this is similar to some of the other questions we got, that you're trying to solve for the feeling of guilty by working more. Your brain feels like it can get away from the icky feeling by working more, but it's not true. Because what happens when you stay at work till 5, when your work is done, you have resentment, you have a different icky feeling. And so instead of trading guilt for resentment, what if we just dealt with both feelings? And how we deal with both feelings is a safe method. We let you be the boss of your internal experience. We let you internalize that voice of the boss. You voice a wish, which is the boss that's going to say, hey, listen, ma'am, you did a great job today. You killed it. In fact, go home and celebrate. That's about what you would love to hear from the boss, right? We get to practice being that boss for ourselves. Keep in mind that this period of time where you feel a little weird about going home at 3:30, even when your work is done, this is a temporary transition. It means there's growth happening. You won't always feel scared. Once you do this a couple of times and you realize no one's in trouble, everything is fine, you're a better doctor, your boss is even happier with you, you're loving your job more. As you get that positive reinforcement, you'll move through this transition and you'll enjoy your job so much more. Something else, like for physician moms, we are natural learners and students of life and growth. We are very growth mindset. We very much growth mindset oriented. So what you can tell yourself is this is my growth edge. My growth is to learn how to let myself leave at 3:30 when all my work's done. This is my growth. And imagine, anonymous attendee, what that would look like if you get skilled and experienced and leaving when your work is done, say at 3:30, where will you be in 6 months? You'll be working part-time hours at your full-time doctor job. That's a beautiful place to be. You will feel safer in your job. Now imagine the reverse. The reverse is that you're super stressed out about staying at work. You have to be there till 5, no matter what. Even if your work's done, you have to be there. Where will you be in 6 months? You will be able to probably chain to your desk until 5 p.m., even if all your work's done at 3:30. So we want to look and see where is this decision leading us and go in the direction that provides more safety, that gets you closer to your result. Because what you'll do when you join our program is we'll teach you can leave at 3:30 and not feel guilty. You'll be a better doctor for it. What do you think about that, anonymous attendee? What do you think about that? I agree. It is hard to do on your own. I think that's why you really do need to be in a community where we can help you with that messaging, with that script. Like we did with a physician who was worried about her child had anaphylaxis, so we get just to reassure her. It could happen, and here are all the ways that we're going to support, how we're going to protect daughter. We get to reassure ourselves we've done everything that we can. If something happens, we can handle that too. That's what's going to quell the fear, is to be able to address all of it, to not look away. It's scary. Something bad's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. That I don't know is where the fear is. And we can say, I've done everything I can. Feels reassuring, right? And if something bad happens, we have a plan for that too. More reassuring. And now we can focus and get our work done. What do you think about that? When in doubt, folks, go in the direction of what feels like safety, what feels like it's getting you closer to your goals. If your action is creating more fear, you're going about it the wrong way. So for the mom who's constantly worried about anaphylaxis, it sounds like that feels horrible in your body. Continuing to repeat that pattern is going to continue the fear cycle, continue overworking and getting behind. So we want to interrupt that. And how we interrupt that is with decisions. I've done everything I can. Something happens, I have a plan for that too. Right now, she's safe. That brings the fear down, and now you can focus, get your work done, and you get home sooner. Because the current cycle is having you work so many extra hours. Okay. Okay. I have a question. Mariana. Yes, this is recorded. It is recorded right now, in fact. And I will send the replay out. I'm just answering all the questions that are in the Q&A. So if Mariana, if you have questions, write them right now. I will address them. We have a full house of people still here. I really need to go to the bathroom, but I'm going to power through. I have been drinking a lot of water, but I want to answer your question. So it is recorded, and the replay will go out, and I will get it out this afternoon, in fact. So you haven't missed one thing. The replay link will be live for 7 days for people who are not in my program. Oh, no, 14 days for people who are not in my program. If you're in my program, Mariana, or whoever who joins, you'll have access to it for life. So, and you may want to listen to this a few times. It's really, really good. The most important thing I want you to know, Mariana, is that the Next Level Freedom is my signature program. It is open right now. We've opened it twice this year. It's the last time it's going to be open for 2024. And the first 10 people to enroll will get a 48-hour triple bonus, which is a private customized call with me where we're going to develop your 4 p.m. exit strategy. You're going to get you're going to be invited to a pop-up training on how to not let work email wreck your life. And you're going to get VIP status to meet with my energy clearer. And I was describing my energy clearer. I was having a lot of intense emotions when my daughter went to college, and she just helped release the energy. And it was just such a beautiful feeling. So I'm bringing her into the group in November, and the first 10 people who join will go on the list. It will go in order from the people who joined to get to talk with her on that group call if you want to. It's amazing. You'll love her. She's amazing. So that is all for an investment of $2,500 one-time payment, lifetime access to our curriculum, our weekly group coaching, 360 support, 15 plus guest expert sessions, book clubs, content vault, private podcasts, coaching basics, and community, and to be part of a movement of making physician jobs safe, healing our families, and then teaching this to our children so their whole life is different. Right. What else do you have for me? Questions? What else do you have for me? We still have 9 people here, so I'm imagining that there's still questions. What do you have? What's on your mind? Type them in. I will answer all of them. I can't even, we have a lot of people who've joined. I'm just looking at my email. We have a ton of people who've joined, which is amazing. So why I'm saying this is if you're in this room and you haven't joined, I don't know what the status of the bonuses are. We have had a ton of people join. I would not wait on this. If you're like, I can't even, I don't even know what that number is. But if you're on this call, if you're watching this and you have an inkling of this could be for me, I would join now while we have the 40-hour bonus window is open. How you'll know if the triple bonus is gone is you'll purchase, you'll enroll, and you'll go to the scheduling and there'll be nothing left to schedule. So that's how you'll know. But so far, everyone is telling me they're booking, so there must still be spots left. Definitely join. Anonymous attendee said, I'm a very private person. I'm not sure if my boss is in the room. How do I handle this? So yeah, so your safety, anonymous attendee, is our priority. Absolutely. And there's so many ways to stay safe. I'll give you some of the examples. Everyone here signs a legally binding agreement. It's like by law, we have a contract here. And people tend to think, well, if it's a coaching community, it's not like a doctor patient privilege. I take it just as my doctor paper, just like HIPAA. Everything here is 100% anonymous. Also, I think this is a benefit. I'm not in medicine anymore. So, um, I I think that's fantastic. So you have a coach who's completely what I'm talking to is I love that coaching has come to universities. It's come to centers. I love, love, love that. We're going to see more and more of that. Thank goodness, because centers realize it's the only thing that helps with burnout. It's just the only thing. But I would caution you to work with coaches at your university. Or if you're working with them, just be very, very careful because I have seen coaches in universities write down document. I've never done this, but I've seen this. My clients have come to me with, I told my coach something and it was in my annual review. I told my coach something and my coach is on this meeting board and I've continually get denied leadership opportunities. I have seen coaches, it's not ethical. But I would be very, very careful about working with a coach at your university. I think that when your boss gives you a coach, that coach works for your boss. So the beautiful thing about working with a coach who's not in medicine is I work for you. There is no conflict of interest. You are the only person I have as a priority, and your safety is all that I'm worried about. It's all that I focus on. It's all that I am constantly on your side. And that's what my clients probably say to me the most. It's like, I come to you and I never feel judged and I always have someone on my side. Versus, listen, we all have friends, but sometimes our husbands, our friends try to fix us. They try to tell us, well, it's not that bad, or maybe they meant this, or they try to be on the other person's side trying to calm us down when they don't realize like sometimes you just need like what safety is having someone on your side always forever. It doesn't mean that you won't stretch and grow. It actually means you'll grow faster. Because if you're with someone who's telling you you're wrong and you're feeling shamed and you're judging yourself, that doesn't make you grow. That interrupts the growth. It stunts the growth. Keeps you small. In my program, you're going to learn that you grow best when you have someone who 100% believes in you. And I hold that belief for you our whole time together for life. And once you feel that deep sense of resonant safety and settling, you can create it for yourself. And you can teach your husband how to create it for himself. And you can teach your children how to create it for themselves. It's the most powerful gift. And you get it once you see someone who's been role modeling. So I think it's fantastic that I'm not a medicine. If you work with a coach at your work, just be careful. And I would for sure have a coach who's not involved with your work to supplement and to have that just a 100% safe space. Also for anonymous attendees worried about being a private person, other thing is you can, just like we did here, you can get coached while being anonymous. So what that might look like is put in the Q&A your question and send it anonymously. And I'll coach you just like I would coach anyone else. And I would have just as much love and belief in you as anyone else. So that's definitely an option. We also have people who come and coach and they turn their screen off and they change their name and we just have a chat. And there's so many ways to get resourced. Well, this is the thought I want to have for you. In this program, inside Next Level Freedom, you are going to learn how to create safety forever in any room that you're in. And you're going to teach that skill to your children, and they're going to feel safe forever in any room that they're in. That's reason enough to join. Some people also just like to add on it. You could just watch replays if you want to. You don't have to. The group calls we have are webinar based, which means no one's going to see you unless you have 2 points of consent. You have to raise your hand and then you have to consent to being brought on and then you have to consent to be recorded. So there's actually 3 points of consent. You would never accidentally be seen. So we have a lot of people who come on and in the background, they're walking, they're cooking dinner, they're watching TV. We had someone who I love and she knows who she is, who came on, who was getting her highlights. She was getting her hair highlighted. I loved it, right? We work with your schedule. You do not have to clear off your schedule for us. We work with your schedule. And she came on screen. She's like, I'm getting my hair done and I want to be coached. It was such a baller move. I absolutely loved it. But you for sure can be anonymous. Our one-on-one is just you and me. It's not recorded unless you want it recorded. And in this room, you're going to learn how to be safe in any room. Here's the thing. A lot of people will say, well, I don't know if my boss is in the room. I don't know if my sister-in-law is in the room. And when we say this, what we're really saying is that safety is determined by somebody else. We can't be safe unless we know who's in the room. It's never true. When we think that, then our boss decides if we're a good doctor, our mom decides if we're a good daughter, our husband decides if we're a good mom, everyone else gets to decide who we are. It's so painful. So what you learn in this program is how to create safety in any room you're in. The reason you're afraid of joining anonymous attendee because you're worried you won't be safe, it's the reason why you have to join, because we're going to teach you how to create safety. What do you think about that, anonymous attendee? Beth asked, when do we meet? It rotates. I could show you a schedule, but I mean, we sometimes meet Saturday morning, Sunday night, Monday afternoon. We rotate it through the week so everyone can join live. And your zip code is not a barrier. We have people from all over the globe in our program. You get exactly what you need, I promise. And if Beth, there's a thought, you need to be at all the calls to get your money's worth. Absolutely not. I think one call is worth $2,500. And we want to watch out for the thinking, I have to do 100% of effort to get my money back. Absolutely not. It probably, that's having you in your relationship, in your home, in your marriage, and work, is probably having you think you have to be 100%. Listen, to get to med school, we had to have a lot of high grades. But there is some freedom and ease around, what if I don't have to do 100%? What if going to just what I pick and choose is the exact point, is learning that I get to pick and choose what I want to do in this program. And then I get to learn how to pick and choose what I want to do in this marriage and pick and choose what I want to do at work. That's the whole point, is letting you be internalized boss, the boss you've always wanted. Give yourself permission to not be at all the things. You really don't have to. And if your brain is pushing you to be at all the things, it's just caught in that overworking cycle. So join us right now. This is the last time to join before 2024. For 2024, the next time we'll be open will probably be spring 2025, like almost a year from now. Do you need to suffer that long? You do not. What if you could have help making your end of year goals? Help with all the stress of the fall holidays. I had an attendee once who told me people lose their mind around the holidays. It's true. Everyone's just racing to get through a lot. There's so much more work. And then you have people on vacation. It's a stressful time. What if this could be your best holiday ever by having support? And then you have access to this forever. Forever. Okay, so that's my rule for you about when we meet. You absolutely can make it, Beth. Absolutely, 100%. What else? What other questions do we have? I'm here for all of them. What's on your mind? If you haven't joined yet and you're on this call, it's because you have a question. So ask your question. I'm not going to force you to join, obviously, but I'm going to give you the information that will make your decision easier. But I think if you're on the call this far over our time, there's something here for you. And so I say lean into it. Grab it while it's here. Grab it while there's the triple bonus. Never been a better time to join. We're going to help work on getting you customized support right away. Next call. When is our next call? I have no idea. Well, we have a call once a week. So you'll be on our next call in just a couple of days, and we'll just knock out your safe method. We'll figure out where the obstacles are, what's keeping you at work, what's preventing you from resting, where you're worried about your child. We'll start making safety plans for you. All right, Terry says, I'm in. This is the best thing I've ever heard. I've never heard anyone say this. Veronica said, I'm in. My best friend sent me the link. We're both coming in and we both secured one-on-ones. Amazing. Gina says, I've been in for years. This is the best program that's out there. Don't hesitate. Join now. Life is too short to be suffering. Preach, Gina. Yes, life is too short to be suffering. If we are waiting around for our boss to tell us to go home and get some rest, you will be waiting forever. Instead, use the safe method as just the starting point. I promise you, this is one framework. We build new frameworks every single week. There's so much more. This is just scratching the surface. I promise you will get results with the safe method. This is just the beginning. I just think last night we had on our call, we had 4 people, I think 6 people, and there were tears. Like people were genuinely like, this is the most special place I've ever been. This is the only room I've ever been with physician women where I don't feel like everyone's competing. This is the only room where I feel safe to be me, to say that I hate research or that I hate writing books or that I hate Saturday clinics. It's the only place in the whole world where I can feel safe, where I have friends, where I feel like I can be me. That's what you get when you enroll. You become part of a movement. You get friends for life. You get a safe place for life. You never have to struggle again. And we just work with you until you get your results. We will not quit on you. We will not forget about you. You're not just a number here. We are going to work with you until you're back to part-time hours. And then we work with you even then because this is a lifetime program. So I promise you, once you get to part-time hours, you're going to be like, you know what, Christina, I'm ready for my $100,000 raise. Or Christina, I'm ready to be a leader. Or Christina, I want to get rid of this BS leadership title. Wherever you are, I promise you, you're going to want more. Not because there's something wrong with you, but because you were meant to have a big, amazing, brilliant life. Not to mention, kids change your life at every stage, don't they? Like, first they can't sleep, and then they can't control their bladder, and then they're going to college and it's breaking your heart. Like, there's lots going on. So the world is always changing, and we get to be your constant. We get to be that safe place for you throughout, for every stage of life. For now, for the last job, for retirement, for when your parents are ill, we get to be a safe place for all of it. There is nothing we haven't covered. I mean, we've been doing this since January 2021, and I'm just amazed at what we cover, the depth and breadth, because we have the most amazing people in this program. And in part is because people want to be safe in their job. They want a place where they can be held, where they can be themselves. And also, like, that's why I have the price point at $2,500, because I know, and don't forget, you can download the templated letter to copy paste it to your boss. So this could be a $0 program, but my goal is like, could we have no barriers to have physician moms come and heal their families and make life better for their kids, right? No barriers. Karen said, I've joined. I've been following the podcast for years. I am finally ready. The SAFE method has blown my mind. I see 10,000 different ways how I can make my job safer. I feel possibility I've never felt before. Welcome, Karen. Welcome, right? And this is just the beginning. There's so much more. Okay. What else do you have for me? All right. Yes. Anonymous attendee says, I 24. Oh my gosh. I have to say, I have to take a break. I have to go to the bathroom. If you need to leave, leave. If you have more questions, put them in. I still have questions, so I'm going to go over them, but I'm going to come right back. So put in your questions now. This will be a moment of silence where you won't have me yapping while you're trying to write your questions. I'm going to come back. I'm answering all these questions. I'll be right back. Get yourself a drink too. Okay, back. All right. What other questions do you have for me? Enter them in. I'm going to answer. We have some more questions left, and we have plenty of time. All right, we have a question about 24/7 checking work email. It always feels urgent. It wakes me up at 1. How can I stop checking email? So, first of all, anonymous attendee, you have to join us because we have a whole course about how not to let work email derail your day. So, I'm going to give you some tips here. But there's so much more to this. We can help you in so many ways. And if you want to enter in the email or enter in the Q&A right now, I can take a look at that. So here's some thoughts to consider. And let me know. I'm just going to offer you, because I'm just reading in between the lines. Here's some thoughts to consider. If it's waking up at 1 a.m., if you're always having to think it, it's probably because your mind thinks has linked email is an emergency. What I'm going to offer you is email is by definition not an emergency. If someone has time to email, it is by definition not an emergency. It means that And if it was an emergency, here's what will happen. They will either call 911 or they'll go to the ER or they'll come track you down or they'll page you or they'll page the attending on call. Email by itself is not an emergency. Some people are going to be thinking, I'm going to miss out on something. And what I want to offer you in our coaching program, what we would work on is that's the exact point. You're going to miss out on something. At 1 a.m., nothing good is going to come through your email. I promise you. And actually, let me add this. Nothing good is ever in work email. I don't know about you, but no one's ever told me I won the lottery on the email or told me like that I got the house. I was like, nothing good has ever come through work email, in my opinion. Maybe I'm missing out on something. Maybe have a different experience. But so what I want to offer is it's sort of the point is to miss out on the email. We teach a very structured process to help you make sure the work email is not wrecking your day. So when you join us, you're going to get access to that. We'll be unrolling that in the coming weeks. So that's that to consider. It's actually not an emergency. And the point is you should be missing out. Yes, nothing good is there. Yes, we're going to miss out on some things. You're not going to see every opportunity to volunteer for an extra call shift. You'll miss some of them. That's the point. You're not going to have stress about should I take the call if you're not seeing the call emails come through. It doesn't mean you'll never help. You absolutely will. We teach a very structured process of check email 3 times a day, 10 minutes each, 2 hours after you arrive. So you set your momentum. You don't let email wreck your day. You use best parts of your brain for the hardest parts of your job. After lunch, so you don't lose your appetite, so you don't forget to nourish yourself, and 2 hours before you go home, so that you get through the issues and you have time to decompress from the email stress and you go home without a bee's nest of activity about all the problems that are happening. You go home feeling satisfied and accomplished and proud of yourself. So that's the process we teach among like 10 other strategies is to look at that. So you can give that a try. You're going to miss out on some things, but also it's not that you're skipping email. You're checking 3 times a day. So you will have opportunities to volunteer. I promise you. Also, the volunteers to cover shifts are not just going to come on email. They're going to be brought up to the faculty meeting. People might come to your office. Can you do this? You'll have plenty of opportunities to volunteer, but you don't need to actually see every email. You may want to miss some of those opportunities. If you're worried about you're going to miss something good, what I want to say is good opportunities that are meant for you will come to you. So no one's ever going to say, I'm going to give you $1 million if you write back in 5 minutes. I mean, that might happen, but that's not a real email. That's spam, right? So nothing, if it's good and it's meant for you, that opportunity will find you. They will let you wait 12 hours until you get into work tomorrow morning, or 8 hours until you check email in the morning. Good opportunities that are meant for you will find you, I promise. And so you're not missing out. And also, the way you're doing it right now, which is not to fault or shame you, but we just want to show your brain what's happening. I got to check email all the time and it's waking me up at 1 a.m. You are missing out on this too. Your brain is saying, I'm not missing out. You for sure are missing out. You know what you're missing out on? Sleep. Promise at 1 a.m., your body wants to sleep. It doesn't want to think about work emails that, by the way, at 1 a.m. are not really going to be solved. There's not a lot happening that you can do at 1 a.m. So you're missing out on things right now. And it's not a fault of yours. We are like, I don't remember much from physics, but I remember that you can't be at 2 places at one time. I remember that, whatever that's called. That you're always missing out on something. When you're at work, you're missing out on the kids. When you're a kid, you're missing out at work. Like you can't be in 2 places at once. You're always going to miss out on something. You just get to choose what you want to miss out on purpose. Knowing that neither choice makes you a bad person. So you may want to say, when I don't check my email at 1 a.m., I miss out on the emails, but I'm getting the sleep that I want. Maybe worth missing out on some things. So when you join our program, you're going to get that course and we're going to help you with this concept of missing out on purpose, missing out with intention, missing out and feeling totally liberated. So join us. We will help you. What other questions do we have from the group? Lisa says, I like this concept. I've never heard it before, that our work expands into whatever time frame we give it. How can you constrain when all your brain wants to do is a million different things? Yeah, this is a great question, Lisa. So, and you have so much insight. I want to point out you have such good awareness. So you know your default brain is always going to want to work. Always. So if we know it's always going to want to work, we know that also working is not going to solve it. Even if you were to work, if you stop sleeping and you work 24 hours a day, your brain would still be like, let's work more. And so we don't hate our brain for it. We don't get mad at our brain for it. We're like, oh, this is a normal, brilliant human brain. Of course, it wants to work all the time. And I, as the internalized boss, get to decide our hours. And I know when I work less and have time to recover, I'm the best doctor I've ever been. I know when I get to be the mom I want to be, I'm the best doctor I've ever been. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and make the decision. I'm leaving at 4:30 today. All my work is done, and I'm going to take care of the part of my brain that's scared. And we can help you with that. I can show you how to take care of that part of your brain. Just as a simple analogy, because we all have that part of our brain, is I think of that part of the brain as sort of like a scared toddler, like me as a 2-year-old, just scared. She just thinks she needs to work all the time. She doesn't know better. And so I imagine like bringing her to me and holding her close and saying to her, listen, Christina, little Christina, I know you're scared, but I'm here to take care of you. I'm the boss. I'm the protector. I'm always going to make sure you're safe. We're a better doctor when we rest. There's nothing good in that work email. I'm going to take care of you. And the more you reassure that younger, vulnerable, scared part of you, the more you realize how you solve for the fear is not to overwork. How you solve for the fear is to comfort her to work less. That's how you escape that overworking cycle. When you're rested, your brain will think better. It'll think at a higher level. But you'll always have that part of you who wants to work because that's just what the human brain was designed to do. I think where physician moms get in trouble is we think we have to listen to our brain all the time. And in coaching, what I'm going to teach you is you get to direct your brain. You get to tell your brain what you're going to do. You get to make the decisions. It's that safe method, that A is a really short, like a shorter part of our teaching, but it really is the foundation for everything. You get to be that internal boss, the boss you've always wanted. So imagine, Lisa, like what would help you leave for work? What could your boss tell you that would help you leave for work? Practice saying that to yourself. So it might be, you've done a really good job today, Lisa. You handled a lot of hard cases. I can always trust you. You are such a good doctor, and it's time for you to go home now. How you get to be a good doctor is you get to rest. You have to connect with your family. And when you do, you'll come back and get even better work done tomorrow, I promise. That if your boss said it to you, it would make it so much easier to leave, right? But here's the thing, your boss is never going to say it to you, ever, like ever. And so you get to be that internalized boss for yourself and say all of that and help yourself get home so you can be the best doctor and mom you want to be. What do you think about that, Lisa? And that's a big part of focus of our program. It's really a natural for people to be able to do that for themselves. And that's why you want to be in the program so I can help you. I can help develop the scripts for you, which is not really a script, but I listen to like what you're saying and I listen in between the lines and I provide that soft conversation for you. And then I would just say, just let this time period where you're practicing leaving early, let it feel a little bit, I don't want to say wonky, but a little like back and forth. Like I want to, but I'm not sure I want to, but I'm scared, like that you're describing in there. Let it be like this. This is in the transition where you go from overworking to cutting part-time hours. You have to go through a transition where you're like, I want to, but I'm not sure. I'd love to, but I'm scared. That's the definition of transition. It means you're going somewhere. It means you're going to this more safety. You're going to part-time hours. You have to go through this middle space. And my advice for you is in this middle space, for sure, have coaching because coaching will help you move over to part-time hours. If not on your own, I promise you this middle space will be followed by let's just start overworking again. It'll crush all possibility. Your job will. So say, oh, this means I'm growing and stretching. It means this is my brain forming neural pathways so I can create safety at work. All of this is welcome. I used to too, like you, Lisa, I used to like, I'd have fear and it would stop me. Like, oh, I'm scared, so I'm going to freeze. And then I realized, if I keep freezing, I never get what I want. I always get what somebody else wants from me. I always get more work to do. So I started recognizing fear is not this thing that has to hold us back. Fear is the signal growth is here. Things are going to change. I'm exiting the overworking cycle. I'm getting back to be the mom I want to be. I'm going to be an even better doctor. I'm going to start sleeping better. I'm going to feel more connected in my marriage. I'm going to get white space on the calendar. Fear is not a thing to freeze you or make you small. Fear is a thing that like, stay with this. This is the way. Fear is this thing that just needs to be reassured. Like the smaller 2-year-old version of little Lisa just needs reassurance that all it was what it needs. It doesn't need more working. More working makes it more dangerous. Just needs reassurance. So let it be this back and forth for this time period. It won't be like this forever. It's just a transition. In the meantime, reassure yourself. Something else, Lisa, that I want to offer to you that I think can be really helpful and for everyone on the call and the replay is to celebrate your progress. We as physician moms aren't taught to celebrate, and we miss the chance to integrate what we really love. When we don't celebrate, my therapist would say, well, you don't celebrate, you don't integrate. And she's so right. If we don't celebrate, our brain doesn't pause to say, oh, this is amazing. It just keeps working, 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 that overworking cycle. But if we celebrate, we pause that cycle and we show the brain, actually, we're celebrating leaving work 10 minutes earlier today. We're celebrating having hope and possibility that everything can be different after attending this one live class. Everything can be different. We're celebrating this. It shows the brain, this is the thing we need to create more of. And then your brain will go to work creating more hope and possibility and leaving early and being a better doctor. What do you think about that, Lisa? Lisa said, give myself permission in the transition and get coached on all of it. I am in. I can't wait to start. Welcome, Lisa. We can't wait to have you. Absolutely. So if you, just to recap, Next Level Freedom is open right now. It's the second time it's open this year. Last chance to join this year. The next time we'll open will probably be spring 2025. We're definitely not opening again until 2025, but I'm thinking it'll probably be spring. When you get access, when you come in, you get immediate access. New 5-module curriculum, weekly live group coaching for life. For life. We've been doing this since January 2021. And yeah, we love it. It's amazing. It's so fun to see people who sometimes join as residents, see them become fellows, attendings, married, the babies, faculty promoted, second job, negotiating for more money, cutting back to part-time hours. To see a life unfold in a coaching program is like such a privilege. And when you join, you get to be that example, and you get to witness and be in the presence of other women who are doing all the same thing. And we are the sum of our community. If your community is all worker bees, all people at the hospital who hate their job, it will feel like you need to hate your job and be at the hospital all the time. Join our community where we are loving our jobs. We have better relationships with our colleagues. We're having better marriages, all through and being exceptional doctors, all through cutting back. So we get to be the mom and doctor we want to be. You get 360 support. So what that means is there's nothing we don't cover. We cover business, we cover growing your practice, we cover patients, we cover working with difficult colleagues, having difficult conversations, marriages, in-laws, children, parenting, dating. As Anya pointed out, I am a physician mom, so most of my examples are that, but we have a lot of people in our program who are physician women without children, or they're physician women who have chosen not to have children, and we love all of it. If you resonate with any of this message, it is all for you. You are for sure welcome. You also get 15 guest expert sessions plus. It's 15 plus when we add to them regularly. Our next guest expert will be in November. We have book clubs that are bent for the physician mom experience, content vault, private podcast, coaching basics community, and you get put to be part of a movement of creating safety in the workplace for physician moms. When you join and learn the skill, you will bring safety all over your life. You'll teach your children how to be safe. It makes the whole planet better. You join right now. It's a lifetime access program, and you can be on our next call just a few days away. It's a one-time investment of $2,500 or 3 monthly payments, and the first 10 people who enroll are going to get a triple bonus. That's a private session with me to develop a customized 4 p.m. exit strategy where we work with your exact job, life, boss, family situation to help you get you home sooner, on your way to cutting back to part-time hours at your full-time job. You're also going to get access to a pop-up email class we're going to do on how to make sure email doesn't wreck your day. And you're going to have VIP access to our expert guest speaker from November. She is my energy clearing coach. So she works with my body to help my body find safety. I think what I've noticed in medicine is so much of what we do is very cerebral. We get completely divorced from our body. I remember before I started coaching, I was like, I have 4 feelings: rage, happiness, exhaustion, and burnout. Like, that's it. Oh my God, I only feel 4 feelings. And Our life is, we get so divorced from our body, and yet our body has holds so much wisdom for ourselves. And so when you join, you'll get VIP access to meet with my somatics coach, and she's going to go down from order of who joined first to offer private, personalized sessions within that group call. And she's absolutely amazing. You'll have never experienced anything like it. It's so beautifully healing. It works with your body to create safety so you can create safety elsewhere. So that's what's available. There are only 10 spots for that triple bonus. So if you have any at all inkling you want to join, I would join right away, right now. I wouldn't put it in a to-do list. I wouldn't come back for tomorrow. Put your phone on this QR code and join today. You'll be on a group call. Later today, I have a 4 p.m. call with in 52 minutes. I have a call with someone who just joined. So you can join as soon as this afternoon and have your first one-on-one call. We'll just develop your customized exit strategy to leave your job at 4 p.m. If you're done at 4, you don't need to be at work at 4 p.m. And we'll figure out also how to help you rest, how to stop working nights and weekends, how to be an exceptional doctor and the mom you want to be. Doors will close for the rest of the year on October 15th. We only open a couple of days, just twice a year. And this will be the last time for 2024. When you join now, you cut back to part-time hours now. You get help with into your goals now. You get help with the holidays. The fall holidays can be a lot. You get help with all of that. You get to start 2025 like really well positioned to be your best year ever, full of rest and recovery and being the doctor and mom you want to be. You be part of a community and be a part of this mission to make the world a safer place. All right, everybody, that's it. I have all the questions. Reply, email me if anybody has questions that I didn't cover. I think we did. All the questions are there. If anybody has questions, email me. I will be happy to meet with you. We can chat on email, or we can set up a quick Zoom call, or we can just sort it out. I want you to have all the information possible. I want you to be in the space. I want you to experience next level freedom. I want you to be able to be the doctor and mom you've always wanted to be. See you on the inside, everybody. Bye-bye.